Hey Google, stop the music.
You can just press it.
Just tap
Hello, and welcome to
Talks Around the Teapot.
Wow, we
Hi.
need to lower this. Can you hear us, everybody?
Wait, we need to.
Sorry, I can literally.
We can like.
Oh,
you need
can't
to.
see Maijai.
Yeah, but we're here.
Oh, this
Rio,
is
we're
the
here.
least professional we've ever been.
It's a live talk.
Hello. Should we turn this ring light down so we're
Yeah.
not all ghosts?
We're loud and clear, apparently. Cool.
All right. Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, Rio.
Ignore the fact that
Shuffle
we
Rio.
are. I enjoy how much we all try to keep moving our chairs like that. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
I'll just sit like this the whole time.
Yeah. What if I sit on you?
Well, there's
Then
that.
you can't pick your dog up.
There is that. Oh, he was a surprise guest.
Well.
We have a surprise guest.
It's me.
It's Rio.
Has anyone confirmed that they can hear us? Or we all...
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh.
More
Oh,
hand.
God, yeah. Rosalind did. So there was this Viscount.
He came along and chopped off Morne's hand.
I don't have a hand anymore. No, I do have a hand.
Hand reveal.
Hand reveal. Hi. I have a broken elbow since yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some news.
We'd like to say that there's a story behind it, but Morne just mourned.
The story is I fell over
Morne mourned too close.
and
How did you fall over, Morne?
I tripped over a wire.
Yeah.
Okay, that's more than we. Yeah.
Yeah, more than usual, because
Yeah.
it's usually nothing.
Yeah.
We thought that you had
yeah.
just like taken a
Oh,
step
no,
and fallen to the floor.
We
no,
did
I
think
tripped
that.
over a wire.
Oh.
But the wire was on the floor. It wasn't like up.
We should let you know is that every 4 times that we hang out with
Horse is
Morne,
missing.
Morne does fall over, so it's not really a surprise.
Every 4 times, I'd like to say every time. Rio, this is the talks where they officially announce the return of Seth.
I wish. I truly wish. But I also kind of don't because
Yeah.
I'm fearful of that boy's life.
Seth's dead, baby.
But we
That's
do.
what say.
We do have
yeah.
a special
So
announcement.
you're probably wondering why we're not nicely lit or nicely staged or on our beautiful
Like high-res
award
camera.
nominated set and
Yeah.
tech setup. And the reason is because so that was, as I'm sure a lot of people know, in my living room, and it no
Which
longer
is where we
is.
currently are.
Yeah, in the
I
living
have
room.
a living room again because the studio has moved now to an external proper studio building.
And we are, I say we, I've not done an awful lot to help. Taya and Lyndon, and with a bit of help from Morne, have been working very hard to decorate our new studio.
Sorry,
Living room drop.
Living room drop for real.
We did help
Sorry,
gut
guys,
it.
I'm really like.
Yeah, we helped.
I
We helped.
can't
We helped
sit
gut
in
it.
chairs.
We
Yeah,
helped,
we
like,
took out everything that was in it before.
That was
Me
the
and
two,
Rio.
the
and-
two
You did
strong,
the first-
Yeah,
two strong maths
yeah.
people had to get that
I
done.
did some painting
Yeah.
You did some painting.
and everything
I've
else
done.
has been.
Lyndon's done all the like building. Like it's been a crazy time.
Mhm.
But we can now officially announce that Damsels in Dicestress is having a proper external purpose-built actual play recording studio.
Don't expect it in the next few
No.
episodes.
No.
So because of how we work, as I'm sure you know, anyone who follows us on Blue Sky will know, we have filmed up to the end of Act 2 of Demons and Daughters. We filmed that on, the set you all know and love. So Act 3 will begin and be completely done on the new set.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, Morne's
I'm doing a mini campaign. I'm gonna DM.
and that will be, I think, the first thing we put out.
I think it will be.
That will be in the new
Which
studio.
sounds
Which
really
will be
cool.
very cool.
But
Sorry, Sam, we just can't be so. We have to continue being so cool. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Morne campaign.
Morne mini campaign. So that'll
Which
be going
is-
out after the Act 2 finale, as Michael's Manor
Yeah.
was.
Which is
after Act 1.
really scary because I am known for not being
Not
able to
knowing
play
how
D&D.
D&D works.
And you know, me and Lyndon will do our best to not be
Alright,
angry.
don't turn
angry.
to dust.
To
I
be,
literally-
to be backseat DMs.
If you backseat
but-
DM me, I will cry.
Well, exactly.
I will be doing that.
Well, then I'm
No.
going to be crying.
Good.
Just kill Lyndon's
I'll
character.
kill
I
Lyndon.
don't
Kill
think.
Lyndon's
Kill
character.
Lyndon.
I think that's fine.
Honestly,
I think that's ultimately
honestly,
fine.
I think you could get all of us on board with it.
I think we
Yeah.
can. I think we
I
can
agree.
slowly
The
start
first
pushing
thing,
Lyndon out and putting me in. I think we can do that.
Lyndon, can you describe your character?
He's
dead.
actually
and
dead.
then
It's that except he-
death saving roll, please.
Oh, you tripped down over
Okay,
a wire.
so guys, you awaken at dawn.
What?
Lyndon, make me a death save. This is your third one. You're automatically failed the first.
Oh, somebody comes along and hits you. You're dead.
But,
Anyway, that's
we
not
won't
what
be
we're
doing
here
that.
for this evening.
But yeah, so me and Lyndon were actually at the studio all day today. Today we put down carpet, which is very exciting.
What colour?
Oh, what's
Kill
Lyndon's
Lyndon's character, then have them resurrected and played by Rio. We all know he's really good at playing Lyndon.
You know what,
Playing
Neil?
characters created by
I
Lyndon.
love that idea, Neil.
That
I
is
think
good.
that's actually what I'm going to get rid of my original character idea, and I will just actually do
steal
that.
Lyndon.
Yeah, I think I'll just steal Lyndon's again.
Malata is on my side
Really, that was.
about the
Nose.
wire comment.
Yeah, but they didn't hear that, and I don't think most people didn't hear that. Actually, I think
What?
that's okay. Oh, I said, Lyndon, your character just tripped over a wire. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
that
It's
was
gone.
It
Yeah.
happened
That was good.
yesterday.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm. And I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Wow.
Wow!
Wait,
That's
no.
a-
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah!
yes!
Yeah!
You want to know? I don't
Oh.
care that you broke your elbow.
Oh my god, yeah, I just understood the reference.
Yeah,
I don't know this reference.
Yeah, you're chronically offline, babe.
Yeah, what does it
We
mean?
love you.
it's
No.
a vine.
I am chronically offline, but I do now have Blue Sky,
Yeah,
and I
follow
do
Maijai on
actually
Blue
use
Sky.
it. It's like the only thing that I ever post on. So
Yeah,
Broken elbow shit. Yes.
yeah.
It
Oh my
is.
god, you're just like Harold for real.
Harold, for real, for real.
You're literally
Yeah.
Harold.
Speaking of, how was it playing?
Lie
Harold?
down.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
that's
thing
what we're here
is-
for
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay,
Lie
we'll
down.
start. I'll start.
Lie down.
My turn. Playing Harold was really fun.
That was such an abrupt departure from the studio tour.
I was just like, that's a great segue. I think we
Yeah.
can jump on that one.
Yeah.
Because Harold, you know, he's the richest man in England. He
Sorry, can I? Sorry. I have a clip that I'm going to be releasing. I'll post it, like, maybe I'll post it tonight now. You said this,
Yeah.
maybe I'll post it tomorrow. I have a clip that I saved for. I'm making a blooper reel for Fathers and Failures. So watch for that to drop. That will probably be on Patreon. Because we had so many bloopers because of the hysteria of playing our dads and knowing where it was going. But so like as we're starting, it's like we're not even on camera.
God.
It's before Lyndon swapped the cameras to be on us. Like Lyndon is on camera. Like we're doing the intro or something.
Yeah.
And you, just in the background, you can just hear your voice going, I'm the richest man in England. I am the richest man in England. Like, to get into character. And when I was editing, it really broke me, because, like, I have no memory of you doing that.
I remember them doing that.
I didn't, and I was editing. And I was really just like... But you were the richest man in England.
Yeah. And
He's not, like,
No,
economically,
he's not. He's not the richest man in England.
But he definitely says he is.
Yeah. He likes opera, but he's not very good at it. And he likes
Harold is 1820s Batman, but fuck.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It was just really fun to play a character that didn't have trauma.
Until the end. and then
Until
he's
the end,
the most traumatized
yeah.
man ever.
Like, it started off really fun. I mean, Harold Pentecost confirmed bisexual within the first 2 minutes of meeting him.
It's
Yeah.
so funny
Yeah.
because like Lyndon sort of did that, but then you were really
Just
like, what?
Oh, it's a
One's
bruise.
got a cork
Wow!
of a bruise.
How did you do that?
Falling
How
over
do
a
you
wire.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you just mouthed to Maijai that you'd just done it, and I was like, what do you mean?
Oh. It's a bruise.
It's a
Sorry,
corker of a
guys.
bruise.
As you can see, we're all
About that
professionalism
size.
tonight.
Okay.
See, this is how our talks normally goes, but we just like edit this bit
Yeah,
out.
this
Yeah.
is the thing. But this is the thing about doing it live. From
More messages below. It's just the things that are on the screen.
Straight men are the worst.
That
to
is
get.
why
that-
Frederick is the worst. I
well,
hate him.
yeah. I mean, Gilbert's straight, but Gilbert's
Yeah,
Gilbert's
but,
autistic. So
yeah,
we
I
can
was going
forgive
to say
him.
Gilbert's neurodivergent, so it's fine.
Not to apply modern terms to characters who exist in the Regency era, but like, you know.
We don't know Gilbert straight.
Well, that's true.
That's true.
There is always the speculation about Gilbert and Jonathan. the
Them
campaign long.
Yeah, but
let them
Jonathan's
speculate.
straight.
Yeah, Jonathan is straight. Yeah. Anyway, you did confirm Harold bisexual within the first few minutes, which
And
was so
you know,
good.
he had a lot of fun. He
sang opera.
He sang Phantom. Well, he sang Phantom of the Opera, which arguably
What?
wasn't actually
Well,
opera.
not canonical.
He would have sung an actual opera.
Yeah.
Given that Phantom of the Opera
Didn't
didn't
exist.
exist.
He had some. He ate quite a few eggs, didn't he?
No, he
Yeah,
ate
like
12
12
sausages.
sausages.
He went. Thomas went, "How many do you want?" And he went, how many are cooking right now? 12. Nice.
Nice.
I love Harold so much.
It was just fun to play. Just a bit of a, you know,
Slightly
a
rich bisexual
bloke.
prick. Yeah.
a bloke.
A bloke.
It's nice playing a bloke.
Barbecue. Barbecue bloke.
The human embodiment of Sky,
Sky
Sports,
Sports,
as Morne
yeah.
described Harold.
Yeah, Harold is Sky Sports.
I want to sit back in my chair, but I'm just...
We
Do
can't
wanna,
see you.
Do you want us to like?
If
I don't know how
should
we
we
can.
I can sit like this.
No,
I mean, I'm
I
sure
mean-
people won't mind this the whole stream. Hey guys, what do you
Wait.
think?
Guys, I will confirm. So this live, because this is live. This is the only reason it's like this.
Okay.
Living room for real. Is this from the ring? Why is it like that?
What have you done?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Now they
we
can see
can
all
fit
of us.
everyone in.
Oh, I didn't realise how much of our table.
You are, yeah.
Look at the range of drinks that I had.
This is the table
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
used to play at.
It's an you know, we've got the usual amount of
Yeah,
cups on it. It's just in a smaller.
We actually have less cups.
We do.
Do
Because
we?
some of them are at the studio.
Well, no, because we've got 2 each.
And I
It's the
usually
living
have,
room
Morne
reveal.
usually has at
You-
least 3.
I
and
normally
we
have
don't
3.
have
So
the
we
big
have.
teapot.
So what drinks do we have? We have
Wait.
water.
Oh, we have tea from.
Now we're here, we can actually have the teapot out.
Oh my god, I feel bad. What's your company called?
Lucky Lace Tea.
My brain was just going Ari's tea. It's Ari's tea. I was like, I know, but that's a company name.
Me when I'm a seal. Ari. That's not what seals sound like, actually.
That's not so.
Oh, what's going on?
This is going so well.
Your advert.
I don't know, but sorry, I just opened up Twitch on my phone so I could be in the chat, and
That's
it's
just a
yeah.
baby on the screen.
It's literally the whole advert.
Me
Is
and
a
the
newborn
baby.
baby going like this. Oh my god.
How did you decide what's a cup and what's a mug? Simple. The handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's my flower cup? Because
That's
a mug.
That's a mug.
It's a mug.
That's a
it
mug.
is.
It's
a
got a
mug.
handle.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you?
Does a teacup not have a handle?
Yeah, but that's a
Teacup is its own thing.
Teacup is different to a cup.
Right, okay.
We should know this. I feel
Right.
like we're the experts on.
No, we do know this. We're just having a brain
I
fart
thought
moment.
we were discussing teacups versus coffee mugs.
I thought we were
No.
discussing fathers and failures. Yeah, so I will clarify. Because we are live, this is how this is.
This is
Everything
how this is.
everything else has been pre-recorded, so you know it's like professional and good. And
Oh wow, look at that flare.
well,
Look
yeah,
at
that's
that light
that's
flare.
what I meant by what's that and how do we fix it?
We'd have to move the light.
Yeah,
It was fine. until
Yeah,
it
and then
was.
you couldn't see any of us.
Lyndon, do you want to say hello to everyone?
yeah. Say
No.
hello.
Oh.
Lyndon's here.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, just have that swinging the whole time.
Let go.
Tell us what you know! Tell us what you know!
I hear the walls repeated. Little Hades Town joke for those in the know.
I'm
What's
being
going on?
blinded.
Guess
Yeah.
epilepsy
Thank
warning.
you, River. My flower cup is. I now use this for Rosalind. I now drink from this as Rosalind because she outgrew her rose teacup. So that's.
And then the other one.
Yeah, and then I had a purple one that broke.
Oh, rip.
But anyway, back to fathers and failures. What were we doing?
Oh, yeah. Iris.
Lyndon has just entered the room.
Lyndon's about to
Oh,
peg the
oh.
light up. Wait,
Oi,
what?
oi.
Welcome to the live stream where pegging occurs. Let's go,
Oh my
baby.
God, this is chaos.
What's this one bit of hair doing?
I don't know.
It's
I
best.
don't know, babe.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah.
That's
I
better.
it's
use
better.
town
Let
lamps.
us know if you think this is better. That's the good thing about
So,
live.
Oh, we got a mic.
Hello.
Thanks, Lyndon.
It's all the way over there.
Lyndon
Well,
is
that's
in
where
the room.
you'd put it.
So if anybody does want to ask questions to Lyndon, we will say them to him, and he'll come over and answer them.
Yes.
Oh.
What?
I wasn't listening. I was reading Malark's message, and I just had to quickly go like that and just prove that it is here and it is always.
Yeah, we're waiting
firmly
for you
yeah,
to
you're
open
very welcome.
it.
Oh, it's been open. I've been waiting.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, Harold was fun to play up until like the last 20 minutes, and it was very, very traumatic. But I understand him now.
Yeah, I do think, I know we've jumped right to the end and we shouldn't do that. We'll let Rio do their proper notes that they make for this reason. But I do want to say, I do think one of the biggest takeaways from Fathers and Failures is we all came away feeling way more for Harold.
Takeaway.
Yes, Dad!
That's an inside joke. That's an inside
Oh,
joke. It normally gets
Lyndon's
cut
entered
out.
the chat.
How are right?
That's for Lyndon, yeah.
Yeah, I read. How are you, man?
How are you? Me to me in the mirror. How are you, man? How are you, man?
I thought it was like, how have you played men?
when the gender.
Maijai, how was playing Gilbert?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Gilbert.
I love
He's
Gilbert.
so cute. Yeah.
I did get super stimmy with him, and I couldn't stop the hands, which ended up being way too much. But I loved playing Gilbert. I just loved that he got some screen time. I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah. Wow.
Ghosts.
Thanks, Lyndon.
It was.
Eloise?
It was. I just watched it back. That was funny. It was very fun. It was very. It was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was playing the all hated, all disgusted, want to kill Frederick Penhallow, the worst of the fathers, the true failure of fathers.
Is Lyndon in the
Lyndon's
room?
just walked out
That,
there.
is that why you're doing this?
No. The true failure of all fathers.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I think I had a very odd, unique experience on multiple counts, and one of them was that you both have an amount of screen time to go off of going into like your performance as these characters, because obviously we had Gilbert in episode 1 and 2, and then Harold has now been a character for quite a while throughout Act 2, and I had, in terms of screen time of like Lyndon's performance and setup of the character, I had some stuff in session 0, which is unaired, doesn't really feel like it counts even, and then like the 5-second like recording of Frederick that was left for Archibald at the trials. That was it. So that was interesting because it was like I sort of knew that me as Frederick was sort of the audience's first and like main impression, whereas I feel like with Harold and Gilbert, they were existing characters the audience knew. I don't think the audience really like knew Frederick that well beyond how he was talked about.
He was sort of a name that was spoken about.
And he's like a feeling, because like I know, like we were joking like we all hate him, but like the thing is that everybody respects Frederick. You know, he's like this name. You know, he's the Baronet. He's whatever. Like he's the one everyone looks up to, and is Gilbert in the end of.
That was
episode
weird. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
It was so strange playing Frederick's friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Lifelong, like, brother, like...
Because, like, Harold and Gilbert, I'm like, I
get... They're pals.
Yeah, I get these guys. Yeah. But, like...
Yeah.
It was so... As somebody who, like, viscerally hates Frederick Penhallow, like, I want to slaughter the man.
Yeah.
It was so weird to be like...
And, like...
Friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I would die for you.
Yeah.
Friend. Like, not just like
it was, for me, like, thinking, oh, Frederick is my best friend. And, like... I don't like that.
It was weird, especially when because I have, as Taya, I have such a complicated relationship to Frederick, and like what I think of him, and because he's so the core of Rosalind's arc, and then it was really interesting to play him like on his flip side, and he was so interesting. Like I had so many moments, like there were so many moments where I could feel him and Rosalind existing in the narrative as kind of foils of each other, and like that was odd, and like there were moments where I could feel similarities to Rosalind, and like it was watching it back, I was like, oh god, I can see that she studied you and tried to be you. That's like, but you know, in the feminine sense. And that was weird. It was weird to just like say sexist, classist shit and like believe it as Frederick. Because the one watching it back was the stuff with like the witches and like stamping out women with power and like, no, because there was a mention of Madame Beatrice and he was really just like, a woman from a disreputable establishment. That's strange. Like, yeah, like, but it was so, but you know, he's not... he's a very complex character, and it was really interesting.
I was about to bring that up, but I was waiting for.
Yeah, I was waiting for the.
He always has been because Talia always for anybody that's not read the message. Neil has just asked if I always knew that Gilbert was neurodivergent or if it came about over time.
I don't know what you guys... Gilbert's like totally super normal.
He is super normal and neurodivergent.
We always knew that he was, I think, just because of how much Talia is, it was like never a doubt.
I mean, it's like the first time we saw him in like the first, like in the third or second episode, as soon as he came in, and the way he was talking to Talia and the way it was like, this guy.
I think a lot of us saw ourselves in Gilbert.
Yeah. I never wrote it down that he was.
No, but we'd sort of, I mean, we'd never said outright, but the way that we had discussed who the characters were and how they behaved, even before we played, I think it was very clear that he wasn't neurotypical. Yeah. Especially because, you know,
I feel like he wasn't, we never said he was neurodivergent, but we agree he wasn't neurotypical.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that's the same thing. If you're not neurotypical, obviously you're neurodivergent.
But there was always something
he's
there.
Not normal. He's not typical.
He's not like, even more, he's not like, you know, Regency society. Like, he's not at ease with that.
I think we did say he was odd. I think that's what we.
He was supposed to be like, you know, eccentric.
You
You know?
he was supposed to be eccentric, and you know, it was the same thing of like, the thing with Gilbert was always that he was respected because of where he because of his relations
and his money and his
rank, but he wasn't really respected. People generally thought that he was weird. They didn't really want to interact with him, and they didn't really understand him, because that was a really big one that we'd said that was a Bronte thing specifically for Gilbert and Talia, because it wasn't true of his brothers, who obviously aren't in the show, but like I vaguely know them yet. But
interesting.
Brontons roll out.
Yeah, we
bring in the Brontons.
Brontons roll out.
But
we have the Pentecost family dynamic. Let's bring the Bronton family.
We
dynamic.
had said that
dickhead brothers, probably.
Well, that was it. Like, even though he was because that was the other one, is even though he's the oldest of the three brothers, he was sort of treated in the way that you would treat the youngest one, in terms of like not really being respected, not really being listened to, and sort of being pushed out from the crowd. So yeah, it was never really discussed, but it was always sort of a known thing, if that answers your question.
That's sort of what I'd always like. It was always sort of like a headcanon for but it was also always kind of implied, inferred. Like, people can read these characters, you know, and then in lots of different ways, but I think it is.
I played Talia for 1 second and I was like, oh.
I wouldn't want to give him a label though. He
has
ADHD.
There's
or he's that.
But I think we can say he's not neurotypical.
There's a couple of spectrums and he's on at least one of them.
Also, thank you, Neil, for saying my portrayal of Frederick gave us insight into Rosalind, because that feels like a very productive thing. And I'm glad, because I knew like Frederick isn't likable in the way that Gilbert and Harold are, and I wanted, and because he's like he's not boring, but because Frederick is like just the perfect patriarchal lord and like man, and he's so upright and like proper and like always just does the right thing and knows what to do. Like, I didn't want my portrayal of him to be boring, you know. I didn't want him to come across as just like boring.
He is boring.
Yeah,
but you played boring in such an entertaining way.
Like, I didn't want it to.
It wasn't boring to watch it.
And I think it's the context of, and I mean that's why I think Lyndon, it was such a fantastic idea to have us play our dads. Yeah. Because it immediately emphasizes the connection to the girls and like.
No, because that was another thing. Was it really pulled out the similarities and the differences between them? But I think between all of them.
Yeah. Well, even like, because I think the least. I mean, even like for Harold and Agatha. Like, my mum was texting me the whole time. She was, shout out Mum Attack, you're watching this on YouTube, I know, on Saturday, probably. like she was texting me as she was watching it, and like it was just a really subtle thing you were doing, and it was never brought up. But like the fact that you had the hip flask, my mum messaged me being like, "Can see where Agatha gets her substance stuff from." But it really made me giggle.
I think because Harold he's never had rules really. I guess, like, other than, like, the expectations of society.
But he doesn't care about them unless he's around Martha.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, no, that's what I was going to say, but when he's with Martha, he has to put on this certain image, and so he really lets loose, and that's why I like that his first introduction, he had the flask, he was having a threesome, he's eating a whole bunch of sausages, you know, like...
Icon.
Honestly. I think it's like a really interesting contrast between Harold's first introduction compared to Agatha's first introduction. Like,
it was like sedate, moderate, no indulgence, like no fun.
Yeah, Agatha really did have the personality of a potato peel.
Yeah, speaking of boring characters,
Agatha was boring,
but she was compelling. You know? And I think that's the point I was trying to make about Frederick as well. Is like, you know, you can be a boring person and a fascinating character.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
in the same way that you can be like I hate you as a person,
like an evil
but like
character.
You're so interesting.
An
to look
evil
at.
person, but a good character.
Yeah.
Agatha was literally seducing a married man who's wedding.
That's true. She was.
Yeah. Well,
that was
I forgot. Yeah,
that's
I forget.
boring actually.
No, that isn't.
Yeah.
I forget about the Archibald thing.
Do you have
the letter? Oh my god. Well, we should put that on Patreon.
Yeah, definitely. That's a letter.
Just scheming some Patreon content.
Yeah, you said. Well, I just said no. That you made a very good point, Mark. I agree. The advanced chaos of the other two, the way Frederick is and was portrayed. Yeah, it was great. And also, you're just making good points. And they were talking. I just want to go. Yeah, I see you.
Splinge.
Split fringe.
Splinge.
So this is what normally gets cut out.
Yeah. Should we go to Rio's notes?
Yeah.
To do a little.
So
we should keep track of any of the questions that have been asked.
I've been looking at them.
Yeah, I think we've responded to things so far.
I've got my eye on them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just
like keep shout outs in capital
letters. Say it again and
letters.
again and again, and eventually
one of us will
answer
pick it up.
Don't worry, I'm vigilant.
Oh yeah.
I'm vigilant.
Lyndon will just be like, answer the question.
Answer the question.
Lyndon will be like, question.
Question.
Oh no, because last time he was saying really deranged things when we let him read out the question.
Yeah,
he
pretended everyone was asking about MILF Manor.
Yeah,
MILF Manor.
We haven't watched MILF Manor season 2 yet, but I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I'm just laughing.
Is he
MILFs and DILFs?
No.
Oh.
I'm just laughing so hard because I'm like, this is all the shit that would be cut out.
No, for
this
real.
is everything. And there is so much of this, and you're going to see so much of like yapping.
Yappa.
We sure do.
Rio's in pain.
I'm glad Malacto sees Rio.
Wait,
I feel like Rio's seen.
It's one of those things where I'm brought onto this show because it's the right note to keep us all
You're
on track.
brought on for structure, and then we just like
And
ignore
it's
you.
and so I have that part
so
of me
sorry.
where they brought me on for one job, so my brain's like, I have to do this one job perfectly.
I'm so sorry.
MILF Manor.
Alright, Rio, what's your first point?
The Sanctum Impervious.
Oh my god, stop.
Oh, it has a name.
It has
Sanctum,
a name.
that is his name. The Sanctum Impervious.
I know it has a name.
Morne's getting excited that
Oh,
it
I
has
thought
a
you were.
name.
I thought you were looking at me like, it has a name, and I was like, yeah, I just said it.
Yeah, I was excited because you said the name.
What are you looking for, Lyndon?
My big marker pen.
Oh, I was messing about with it earlier, but it was behind there.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, you broke my phone. You just
That's
broke my
what
phone.
happened to me.
Guys,
It's fine. Just leave that on the floor. It's fine.
this is
I
what
don't need
happens
my
when we
phone.
don't have a studio
I
for a
don't need my
week.
phone.
Lyndon just
Guys, look how
ripped
pale
her a
I
while.
am.
I'm
I'm
actually
actually-
pale.
I'm
You've got the
reflecting
light,
light.
like right on your face as well.
Yeah.
Rio.
Yeah, the Sanctum Impervious. We saw it.
All in chaos, but Rio is needed. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lyndon's fine. Whatever happens to Lyndon behind the camera is not important. He's not in front of the camera, and
Wow.
that's ultimately fine. The Sanctum Impervious.
It was so weird to him. I hadn't registered when we sat down to play that the Sanctum Impervious was going to be
alive
and full of people. Because it was like their last days, I was like, it's everyone. Like I really thought that it was at least gonna be like there might be some people, but they'd still be struggling. And I didn't I really wasn't
I
prepared
say,
for
like,
hearing
I don't know how much it came across, but like I was really like in tears almost at the end, like as Taya, like when
I
I
was going to write MILF Manor on this and put it in the background. MILF Manor season 2, but it's been going on too long now. But I feel like I'm kind of committed.
No, I know Lyndon's important. I'm allowed to say this stuff though because Lyndon can't defend himself, so it's fine. Ultimately it's fine. But I appreciate. There is 2 people making out in the Twitch chat though, by the way.
yeah,
There
yeah,
are 2.
yeah, Lux and River
Lux
are
and
having
River.
a snooch.
Hey.
What?
People are kissing.
Yeah.
That's us in any other chat.
No, it really is. But yeah, it was such a, like, I don't even know how to describe the feeling of like being in the Brotherhood and it being like at the height of its like, not like the height of its glory, because you know that people were they had a few disappearances, like it was the beginning of the end, but it was so alive.
That's what I was
took
going
out
to
you
say.
guys
Like,
first.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because I had that, like, I was going into this, like, well, obviously they're going to take out the fist first.
No, yeah.
And then, like, when you guys came in and I, like, seeing your faces going, like, and it's like, it is, like, I mean, it was beautiful to see. Like, it was heartbreaking.
It was gorgeous. I've never been so saddened and heartbroken by such
like
warmth.
So bittersweet. It was like it was like the most bittersweet I think the show's been so far, because there's been bittersweet moments, but it's truly like you're walking around and as the characters it's like this is normal everyday life, but as players it's like this is all gonna end and everyone's gonna be dead.
Like it's for us, like for the men, like because our characters sort of like took it for granted, like that was just their everyday normal world. But then like that tiny bit of player awareness in the back of your head, like it felt like everyone was a ghost, you know, and like we were like
it felt like I was in a memory rather than like actively being in it, which like it kind of was because we were doing like a past thing, but it really felt like it and I wasn't expecting
it. And like my
to.
images of it are kind of memory tinted. They're like gold, like hazy,
warm.
And like the way Lyndon described like the smells, the sounds, like just how busy and like alive it was. Like, and then, you know,
and then I gave you Lucas.
Oh,
then you gave us Lucas,
God.
who I still to this day can only envision as that villain from Spider-Man or whoever it's from.
Because Neil just
like,
Lucas'
what is it,
dad.
Kingpin?
Oh, the really big guy.
Yeah, who's as wide as he is tall.
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt.
Yeah.
But Lucas and Lucas's dad, that was
that again, like I was nearly in tears, like
because
it was just like he was so excited, like he wanted to go out and fight.
No, not him being like, maybe I'll find something to be scared of.
No,
thank you for that actually.
Lyndon
Rufus Winters.
Lyndon Rufus Winters, when I catch you.
Was it? It was just so, because Lucas, he was just so full of life and he was so hopeful about everything, and then the Lucas that we know
he was
now,
just so
and
excited.
I have
he's
a question for Lyndon.
He's a shell.
Lyndon,
having played having played
okay.
these characters for the time that you have, was it weird to like have new memories for them, for like Lucas and stuff, where it's like because obviously you like knew everything that happened with Harold, but then there are like small things that have been added in. Was it
I haven't really. Well, Lucas hasn't been in it since we last played, so I haven't had an opportunity. But there isn't opportunities to delve into his past anyway, because.
But I just mean like
flashbacks.
Knowing.
But was it interesting,
like,
sort of
when
playing
it played
him
out?
in that time, like playing that boy he used to be?
I think there'll be a time in the future where it will be. Those two will maybe perhaps combine the old Lucas and the new Lucas.
I hope so.
Yeah, because
it sort of gave me hope for him.
I mean,
in terms of this is you still, and like you know, I love him, and I think he's such a great character, and it was just so bittersweet. Like it was beautiful to see him, and it was really sad to know everything that happened to him. But like, I'm glad we had that moment with him. Like it felt really special.
I think it's one of those things as well, because we knew what happened to the Brotherhood and like how Lucas managed to get out alive, but then meeting Lucas's dad, it really was no, it was very much Lucas's dad forced Lucas back in
your
there.
dad saved your
Yeah.
life. There's a reason you're the only one left alive, like Lucas, and the reason is like your dad saved you.
Atticus is my favourite character.
Lyndon loves a muscle wizard. If there's one thing about Lyndon,
love a muscle wizard.
Lyndon loves a muscle
Well,
wizard.
he's my favourite character, and I like playing him because he's dead. So you can make him as cool as you like. He's like, oh, he's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah. There's nothing better than
That's so
playing a
fun.
character who is already dead.
Lyndon, are you still looking for the pen?
No, I give up.
That's fine.
Well, I can. It's right there.
The greatest things happen when you just give up sometimes.
But yeah,
buff
Lucas
wizards are
was
very fun.
heartbreaking.
I do want to play a buff wizard at some point.
You should. That feels like a very Maijai character, actually.
Yeah.
But it's this. Yeah, it was
Squeaky pen is Anyway, point number 2.
Let's not just watch Lyndon off camera.
Again, this is stuff that we would usually edit out.
Buff wizards are very fun. Yeah, I'd love to know one day. I'd love to play any class. Literally any class would be nice one day.
You're playing a class soon.
Yeah, I know. Soon. I want to play it now.
You can't see that.
It's also going to be backwards, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no.
Don't do that sort of
A
nonsense.
bit more your way.
I'll just leave it there.
No.
It kind of just looks like me and
Welcome.
Tara are MILFs.
Welcome to MILF Manor. Here are our MILFs.
Welcome to MILF Manor.
I'm mostly going to go over like plot points here. I
Yeah.
think, because that's how we can figure out more of the character stuff.
I think,
especially for this one.
well,
This
we're
one,
gonna yap at you, really.
Yeah, well,
Like,
yeah.
You just need to prompt us.
That was a backstory that we felt Lucas is really the bridge between the two. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
I get that and I agree. You need to get back under there, pal. Back that way, pal.
Oh, that's interesting from Neil.
Wait, what's?
I'll read it out loud. Considering how up his own arse Frederick is, I can't wait to see his reaction if/when he finally reunites with Rosalind and sees how badass as his weak little
Are you sure
pretty
you want to read this out?
daughter has become. Shut your goddamn mouth.
Yeah, Neil, that's my favourite thing you could have possibly said.
Yeah, I'm so excited for
because
it.
you know, like for me, because this is the interesting thing about the fact that Frederick's never really had screen time in the show, is that like I know Frederick so well, I know that dynamic so well. It's like it's really like what motivates Rosalind more than anything else, and like I'm so glad now that that's what's coming across, because I've always known like.
Yeah, Taya, you're being completely
It's so funny because you're
right
talking
now.
about these things and you're like, yeah, you're making beautiful points, and I just look up in the chat and say, puppy, dog, puppy, haha.
Puppy has gotten so big since you all last saw him.
We actually probably. I mean, we can't put him on the table because of all of this.
We
but, like,
can't,
Can
but,
we hold
like-
him up like Simba?
Yeah. Look at how big this boy is.
Circle
He's so big.
of
He is now over a year old, and
Really?
last time you all saw
Oh, he
him,
can
he was
see
only.
his
I
cheek,
know he can
isn't it?
smell it. Last time you all saw him, he was only 5 months
He's
old.
a baby.
So he's big
still a
now.
baby.
He's almost as old as me now.
He's so beautiful.
He might have to sit in the studio while we film now. So let's hope that goes well. Obviously, like today, but
What
like
if we just let him like
in
wander
general.
around?
Well, this is
How
the thing.
cute.
Given the new setup of the studio, if Welly does start joining us for filming days, there is a chance that he will be sat on the sofa with us.
Because he might just fall asleep.
He might just fall asleep sat on the sofa. So
Do you have to get used to the
anytime
studio?
that Oliver shows up, we have a dog to pet.
No,
Oh my God.
Sorry to interrupt.
Lyndon,
'cause
whenever
you're making a really
Oliver's
beautiful
on,
point,
you need
but-
to just like grab Welly and like place him on
So I
camera.
should just run after the dog that's scared of me.
Well,
Yeah.
no, by that point, hopefully he's just more like comfy in general.
But you're making
Such
beautiful
a-
points about
I
Rosalind.
don't
and Frederick.
remember anymore.
Sorry,
I
I
just
just thought as I was
only
pulling him
dog.
back, I should bring him up to say hello.
So big
Is he
yet so
okay.
small.
I know he's a
Yeah.
little baby.
For him, he's very
But
big
he's
now.
so long.
He is a long
He's very
boy.
long.
He is a sausage, so it makes sense.
He's a
but-
long sausage.
He's a long sausage.
He's so
He is bigger,
beautiful.
despite being the runt of the litter. This is
Hmm.
what a off topic.
This
Anyway,
is what they want.
despite being the runt of the litter, he is bigger than his mother and his brother.
He's bigger than his mother now.
Wow.
Jesus.
Audrey's tiny.
Wow.
You're
But the fact that he's bigger than
big.
Tui, who was the biggest of the whole litter when they were born.
That's
I know what my
crazy.
next one shot's gonna be.
Do not kill my dog.
It's not killing
Is
your
it
dog.
Dogs in the Hood?
No, it's not. It's better. Doesn't matter. Mario, kill her.
Weird. I don't know what prompted that.
At least it's not a husky. Dachshunds are a lot quieter. Do I say that right? Dachshunds?
No.
Dachshunds.
Dax-
Either Dachshunds or Dachshunds.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
I
I
always
say
heard
The only
Dachshund.
way was Dachshunds, I thought.
No, that
I
people
had Dachshund.
like
I
that.
just thought because it's
People say it all
German.
different types of ways.
I mean, people are idiots though, so people ask for mochas. At the
That's
coffee
true.
Oh.
shop.
People
Yeah.
do ask for mochas.
sausage dog.
So
Right
I
down.
just call him a sausage.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know how to pronounce that.
Sausage.
Sausage.
12 sausages.
12
12.
sausages.
I call him Senor Sausage. Anyway.
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 Where are
I don't know what we were talking about.
We were talking about Frederick and Rosalind and how Frederick is going to respond when he finds out that his...
In the USA they say Dachshund.
It's so funny because you say
Yeah.
the pronouns and you just kind of spelt it out.
Yeah, but that's sort of what you
Dachshund.
just said.
Dachshund. Because
Dachshund.
it's because of the CH is the K sound.
Yeah.
That's
So
so funny because you
Dax.
said you weren't Americanized, but here we are.
You did say that
Look at that.
tonight.
That's so funny. You said 911 earlier. You said Dachshund.
American people in the chat, come get Morne.
Yeah, collect Morne.
They actually belong with you.
As if they'd let them in.
Maybe.
Well.
You are very
As if
active.
any of
Brian.
us are getting into the US.
No, for real.
Oh, well, Lux has said they don't pronounce it like that.
Then you.
Me? Neil! Neil! Sorry for W in Neil, but that was.
I've just
God,
realised.
please no, get us the fuck out. Come and join us.
Yeah, come on. Come on over.
We've got a studio now, just come and sleep in the
Exactly.
studio.
Yeah.
What I've also just realised is really funny is that like this is obviously going to go on YouTube on Saturday, and like half of it is just us going chat. I went oi chat.
At least not in Texas. Well, that's
I
good
am
to know.
thinking about having another one shot where everyone plays their dads again, but I play Atticus.
Atticus, of course.
And Neil from Fey Earth can DM it, like some sort of flashback one. Probably fighting the tentacle dudes.
Neil, do you want to do that?
Where should DM it?
Yeah, but I wanted...
I do want Neil back.
Maybe...
I've only heard it pronounced for the people from the
Maybe I
US in the
could play
past and
someone else.
California.
Ria could play Lucas.
No, because...
I could just play
I
like-
want to play Lucas.
Lucas is a bitch. Also, you can't kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
I could just play like another guy. I could just play just another guy.
Neil is saying that he will book flights.
I mean, or we could play Lucas's last night.
Lucas's last.
That would be
That's-
horrific.
That's
That's worse than
traumatising.
fathers and failures. That I mean,
I'll play
because
Atticus.
that's worse than what Harold went through. I'd play Lucas, obviously.
That's mine, isn't it?
Yeah, it is yours. It's
Yeah.
sitting there and it's sniffing.
What
it
is
up.
it?
Brandy. Sherry.
It's a little cocktail. It's vanilla vodka.
Ew.
What
a thing to go onto YouTube. I'm really laughing at this going. You're going to have to edit this.
Oh,
I know.
Chambord.
I've realised that.
Vanilla vodka,
I don't know why, I don't have any
Chambord,
free time,
and
dribble.
ginger beer.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, and a little bit of Disaronno.
What are we here for then other than severe trauma? Yeah, true, to be
It's
honest.
good.
Mm.
Try it if you want.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
anyone watching.
I hate ginger
Damsels.
beer.
I
Yeah.
don't care. You'll like it.
Part 2 Shadow Core.
Yeah, I was reading that.
Oh my god,
Is that
Neil.
the official title? Are you dropping
Neil.
that on us for the first time here?
Neil, is this how you're?
Huh?
Is this how you're doing that?
Oh
Is
my
this how you're
goodness.
doing
Shadow Court.
Neil.
There's so
Neil?
much being dropped right now.
Not
and we
Neil
have-
coming onto a Damsels stream and like hijacking with Bay Earth News because that's a power move and I respect it.
Yeah, I respect it. We've barely touched
Wait.
upon the fathers and failures.
And now I'm like, oh my god, Bay Earth.
How long have we? We've been here almost an hour.
Oh, stop.
And we've spoken about nothing.
Guys, I need to leave in like an hour and a half to get my
Jesus.
black box to not
Alright.
be angry at me.
We briefly
Sorry.
saw Thomas. That was great.
Oh my
that
God,
was,
yeah.
beautiful and sad, and it was. It just needs to be given days. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Neil,
yeah.
we'll much do later.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
We'll be in your DM. We'll be on Discord.
We had some, callback characters.
Yes, River, I do want to talk about Inferno.
Thanks.
Sorry.
No,
Rio-
because I'm
Rio's
starting to watch it and I'm so excited.
River, Rio's gonna kill you. All right, Thomas. Let's rein it in, guys.
What you talk about? I've got biscuit in my mouth.
It was sad knowing that Harold and Thomas could have been future father and son-in-law.
Do you know what got me? I just remembered that there's a bit. So in the like really gorgeous and harrowing episode where like you talk to Harold for the first time when he wakes up. There's a bit where you say like, I was in love with someone, and he's like, who? And you say, and then he's really like, yeah, he was a really like good lad, and I'm like, oh, now we know what memory he has of him, and it's, you know, cooking sausages and singing and laughing in the morning, and like that was such a silly moment, but like I'm gonna cry about it, like I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. There's not much else to say about that.
No,
it was just
cute.
tough. It was cute and it was tough.
Yeah, so much of this episode was like, this is beautiful. God, this is so rough. This is so hard. This
I've
is
got a little
difficult.
box in my notes of traumatic things to throw at everyone. So I have one for everybody, like bang, 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 because it's fun.
What were they?
Yeah.
Well, obviously it was throwing Thomas in first of all.
Colin and the Viscount.
Yeah, it was briefly met Colin the Viscount.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
That was weird. Because
Yeah.
again, I forgot that they all existed.
Yeah, remember Colin, guys? Anyone remember Colin?
Does anyone
Hey,
care
do you
about
remember
Colin
my
Jefferson?
fiance?
Yeah,
No.
remember that?
Who's that?
Well,
Two out of-
Colin hasn't forgotten.
2 out of these 3 girls are engaged, and the other one is
Is a widow,
Is a widow.
basically.
which is an insane thing to happen in like a couple of months.
Not
Yeah.
even that.
Not even
Well,
18.
I mean, it is like a couple of months because you got engaged.
Oh
before-
yeah.
Yeah,
so
you got
it is
engaged
technically in a couple of
episode
months.
1.
April.
Yeah. That was weird. Yeah, it
Hey,
was...
remember when that was our biggest issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss those days. I don't, but like...
Remember when our biggest issue was?
You don't love me like you love her!
You don't want me to!
Remember when the drug addiction was our biggest issue? That's nothing now.
It's so funny. But yeah, it...
Oh, thanks.
Thank
for
you for
subscribing.
Oh my god,
Subscribing.
River, love you. What a legend. Also, watch me and River in Inferno on Streaming Rainbow. Sorry,
Was that an alarm on your phone? Was
No.
that an alarm on your phone that you
No.
forgot about? Was that an alarm on your phone that you
No.
forgot about? Okay,
No.
just checking.
Savi remembers being really suspicious of Colin, which is hilarious given the fiance we should have been suspicious of. I mean, we were anyway.
We?
Excuse me?
Listen.
Call me French because we.
Taya was... Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Taya
I'm
just
so
leaned into
sorry.
me. It's alright, don't worry.
I didn't think I did it that hard.
Oh,
That was really
Guys.
good, Rio. I'm sorry. I had to like kill Morne for it, but like it was really good.
Wellington, lie down.
But yeah, it was
Lie
weird.
down.
He wants to come to me.
He doesn't.
He was looking at me.
Oh, maybe he does. It was weird seeing the Viscount like in the wild and like before, you know what I mean?
Just like loose.
In the wild.
You are
A wild Viscount appears.
Well, it was weird being like allowed in whites for a start. Like we not just I mean we were in whites. That's like
Yeah,
we
that's-
say,
yeah, of
obviously.
course.
Like, what?
I don't know.
Why are you looking at me like that? Did we talk about the Viscount and you like relived some old jealousy issues?
I hate the Viscount.
Well, don't
Well,
we all?
duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Viscount.
Yeah, because
you have
Maybe he's your
problems.
special little
He's your
boy.
special boy.
They're all
Yeah.
my
Special
special
boy.
boys.
They shouldn't be. They really
I
shouldn't
don't
be.
think Colin is. I think we've all collectively forgotten about Colin. Colin's no one's
Actually,
special
Colin
boy.
is going to be...
No, because this is my
Lit.
fear. If we go back to Bedlow,
Tali's gonna kill him.
Colin is still there,
Well,
as
yeah.
far as we know.
Yeah. Why is that a big fear compared to like anything?
It's not, but it's just like, ooh, you know?
Well, it's not because she's just gonna be like, go away. I can't talk about it right now, but like, you don't want to be here. Leave. It's for your own safety. Just go home. And he'll be like, what do you mean? And she'll be like, go away, and then he'll go away. That's my prediction for Act 3. Stay tuned to see if that happens.
Well, now it's not
Did
gonna
you like?
happen, is it?
Did you like my
Don't
Talia
want to do that.
impression? Sorry. But yeah, it was. Thank you. It was odd seeing the Viscount and like having to. I'm just like thinking he was a guy, you know. like a normal.
Well, yeah, that's
it was
'cause
like a normal lord.
yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the thing. It's
which
the
is
right...
what
Yeah.
I thought for like
Yeah.
a lot of Act 1, but
Yeah, too much of that one, frankly. But yeah.
Oh yeah, we can really like make you disappear if you do that. Go on.
I got called out
Oh,
too much.
no.
and had to vanish.
Oh no.
Oh, that's fine. Those are
Wow.
useless notes.
Oh no.
Oh, here's the list of all the potential names I had for
I-
Seth. So that's that.
Oh,
Oh.
see, I think Colin is an odd boy because like Colin is also just a bit awkward and like doesn't fit in, which is why he was like picked out to be with Talia. Like I think
Who knows?
Colin's
Maybe
dad
she'll
was
still
just
marry
like-
him.
Yeah, maybe.
She'll just be like, I'll marry you, but this, no.
We're gonna have separate rooms and never hang out or see each other.
Yeah.
Live your life and enjoy it, whatever.
You can do whatever,
Do whatever
you want.
want.
Whoever you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just not me.
Talia will just turn and all things will be okay.
If Seth was redheaded at if Seth was a redhead, Seth's last name would be Gooch. Because Gooch is a derivative of redhead. Yeah, you know. With
Oh,
Colin,
Gooch is
Talia.
something
See,
else
that's
for
what
me.
I'm thinking. I think the best
Well,
thing.
yeah.
I think that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It could happen.
Maybe Colin is gay. Maybe that's what they meant by odd.
No.
Yeah,
Colin-
no, but Talia asked
Colin
Edwin.
is not gay.
And Edwin was like, no.
I like that Edwin's gaydar is like final. When Edwin had no idea about his sister, but why would he? Because you know.
Oh, because gaydar means men.
Yeah.
No, you can't be gay.
No, it's so true because fun fact.
Obviously.
Fun fact. Like people didn't think lesbians were real. This is the thing. Like there were
Yeah.
laws against gay men. There were laws against that. Lesbians didn't exist.
Yeah.
And in the Victorian era, so this is further ahead, but they didn't want to make any laws outlawing lesbianism because they didn't want to give women the idea. Because they were like, nobody's doing that. Let's not suggest that they could, you know?
And
It's because in
instead-
government all the guys are like, hey, men want to fuck each other, let's make that illegal.
For real.
And instead, they were just very good friends.
They were roommates.
Best friends.
No lesbians, just really good friends.
Historically,
Yeah.
best friends.
Yeah.
Lesbians weren't real in the Regency era. They hadn't been invented yet. That's true.
True.
And
Talia and Rosalind invented lesbianism.
We invented a lot of
We-
things,
yeah.
and lesbianism
lesbianism
was
is
one
one
of
of
them.
them. Yeah, and
Lesbians
Lister,
were
who's
invented.
that?
Colin is an incel though, for sure.
Okay.
There are so many.
Yeah.
Or he's about to
episode,
become one.
we hear all of these characters speaking fluent. Let me find out.
What is Polari?
I don't know.
I was going to say I'm going to make a guess, but I actually think it's best if I
River,
don't.
explain.
Yeah.
I think it's best if I
I'm
don't make a
sorry,
guess.
don't know what that
Are
is.
you missing something? I don't know.
It's bleeped out. Hella
It is.
queer.
Hear that, Twitch?
Homophobic.
Hear that,
Twitch?
Twitch? We're on your ass.
They were invented the same year as batteries. That's
Anyway.
really funny.
It might only be for you, it's not.
Yeah, I think my Twitch settings are weird. Anyway, where were we? Sorry, guys.
You met High Protector and the
Uh-huh.
postmaster. That whole
Postmaster
because
General.
the postmaster situation was kind of like, yeah, these guys are just fucking privileged lads.
Well, yeah.
Because
It's
obviously
the whole
they are.
brotherhood.
Yeah, it's
Which
like
one was the postmaster?
it was the person that they were like, you have stuff, and you guys were like,
Oh, I love
everything
that
we
one.
have, everything we have, we need.
It was nice to see like them just be lads though.
Yeah.
Like I know that they were uppity privileged lads, but it was nice to just like see them being friends and hanging
It was
out.
Yeah.
because you could really see in that moment, I think, that like they had been best friends since childhood.
Yeah.
like you
Like
could
they
see,
were at school doing
Yeah,
this.
you can see who they were as kids.
Polari is a secret language that was used by British gay
Ah!
men.
Why did none of us know that? As
Because I'm a
people?
modern queer guy.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
I'm a gay history person. I should have
You
known
should know
that.
that.
I'm embarrassed. But that's
You
very,
should
very cool. I'm
Be
glad-
embarrassed.
No, it's because
We
I
should
only know
learn
about
it.
women.
Oh,
I only know
yeah.
about
Yeah.
lesbians. Like, you know, what can I say? But
Lesbians
that's
and
very
their-
cool.
What was it that lesbians did?
Well, Anne Lister made a whole code. Which
Lesbians
is cool.
didn't
Yeah, but
women.
they use some because I know that some men use like their handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
That was like flower language and stuff. Like
Might-
violets meant lesbianism.
Might have been that.
I'm pretty sure lesbians use their lips.
Occasionally.
Guys.
Anyway,
Guys, it is 8 o'clock and we have gotten as far as we walked into the
Oh my
brotherhood.
god, there's been so much. Okay, alright, let's. We all know how
it's
to
so sad because I actually really wanted to talk about this episode like properly.
Yeah.
Do it then. Literally
I'm
no one's
trying.
stopping you.
I'm stopping me. I'm my own worst
I'm a
enemy.
hindrance to myself.
But yeah, I love that
What
you
did
could
nobody
see.
catch?
Oh, you have to rewatch it, I guess.
Okay.
When do I ever rewatch anything?
Yeah.
Then I guess we'll never know.
I loved that you could see like the laddiness of them, but it was just another one where like, and it kept happening throughout the episode. Where I mean, and it's all of us, because even though obviously Gilbert is, you know, the best for it and is our fave, like these are all still very privileged men who are not necessarily aware of their privilege. And I mean, for some of us, absolutely just accept it. For some of us, you know, there are more nuances to it because of who they are, but they are, as a blanket, some of the most privileged men in England. And there were so many moments that like it showed, and it was just weird to experience. Like, and the funny thing with the Postmaster General was like, as Frederick, and this was the thing I kept having as Frederick, was he just the unwavering certainty that he's right, and like that being like why he could just like not be worried or like fall into any of the
you finally experienced male privilege. Let's go.
I did. It was weird. Because like his whole thing with that, because Frederick wasn't really joking about it or like teasing or being a dick. What Frederick was doing was saying, everything you've given us is still in use. We don't need to return any of it yet. It's not due to be returned, and it's most productive where it currently is. We will change that when it needs to change. And Frederick was so sure that that was correct, and he was correct.
What did Gilbert?
Like,
Gilbert did something really deranged. I swear he just kept lying.
Yeah.
Harold lied about the hat.
Harold had that on his head and was like, no, this is my hat.
He was like, and then he was like, I just want to look at it, and you're like, it's on my head. But what, like, Gilbert kept doing deranged things and just like lying to people or just saying shit.
Yeah.
And I was really
Gilbert
like,
was a little mischievous.
yeah, I was really like,
guy.
Gilbert, babe, this is not what I thought you were.
But it's that element of like, there's still something around lads that comes out in Gilbert.
Yeah.
Even. Like, which is just, it was really sweet to see with Gilbert, I think.
I love
But
Gilbert.
yeah, it was interesting and it was weird. But yeah.
You got given your mission
Mm-hmm.
to meet. I've got the name written down. I think
There was
The
a reverend.
parishioner, yeah.
Reverend Anthony Blythe.
Reverend Anthony Blythe of Ratcliffe.
Really? Quiet time. There's a cat in the house and my dog is
I
scared
seem-
of cats.
Neil says, I seem so comfortable playing male privilege. And all I can say to that is that, like, it was weird. Like, I definitely wasn't comfortable in the sense that, like, watching it back, some things that came out of his mouth, I did a double take at. I was like, oh my god, ew. I was like, oh my, the audacity of this man.
Yeah.
But again, it was just that, like, because of the way we are as actors when we do, like, actual play, I'm just so in the character's mindset that, like, I don't even, like, when I was playing Frederick, like, I didn't even realise that's what it was, like, when it was happening, because Frederick, again, like, just believes he's right. Like, Frederick just knows that he's right and trusts that things are as they should be.
And
that's male privilege. And, like, so it was weird. It was really odd.
No. Those aren't for you.
Just, are you willing to divulge what happened to some of the potential magic items?
Oh yeah, they're all still there.
They're all still there.
Okay.
More or less,
We
more or
gotta
less.
raid the sanctum, guys.
Well, no, because this was my thing. Because the amount of times that we've been like, are there any magical items that could help us? And it's just been like, no.
Well, we haven't looked very hard.
Yeah. You haven't found them. You haven't know where to look.
Right, but we've asked people who have been there who would like know that, here's where the person with all the magic items was.
Yeah, but Jonathan, who wasn't a real member, you know.
Yeah, but
Lucas?
Lucas didn't really know either.
Harold?
I don't think Lucas will know, because that's like the
No.
equivalent of like, oh yeah, this is my first day at Subway. Where do we keep all of this stuff? Fuck if I know.
Yeah. I like that Subway was the...
It was the first thing that came to my mind. I won't lie to you, because you spoke about Subway.
Lucas
I did.
is the sandwich artist. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
I got a very sad Subway yesterday after I came from the hospital.
Oh.
Was that? That was before.
It was after the hospital.
Oh, I was going to
Yeah.
ask if it was after the bath, but.
If you really want to know, you'll have to find Frank Williams.
Rest in peace, Frank.
Spoilers, guys. They don't know about this yet.
Oh,
yeah.
my
No, it hasn't
bad.
come out yet. No,
No.
Frank hasn't been revealed yet.
Maybe.
It was.
Okay,
Oh
no,
no, sorry.
Shush.
That's it.
No, I got the name wrong.
Before we started doing this live show, I had to brief everybody on what episode had last aired. Do I need to remind you,
No,
Lyndon?
I just got the name wrong. That's all. What was the name
did
of
you
the
mean?
guy in charge of all the stuff?
The Postmaster.
Oh yeah.
No, not the Postmaster General. That's something. He was
The quartermaster.
quartermaster. That's it.
I don't remember.
Right. Anyway, I thought that was his
Yeah.
name. That's all.
As we
I
were
thought his name
saying,
was John Clendon.
no, that was the Postmaster General.
Ah, yes.
I thought the Postmaster General was who we got all the magic
No,
stuff
that's the
from.
Quartermaster.
Oh, the Quartermaster,
But we-
Alexander Forthright.
Alexander Forth. Yes, because he's very forthright.
Yes, because he's very forthright, yes.
I don't
We
know
got there.
anything.
That's why I have my notes.
But we're now talking to Anthony Blythe
Yes.
in Ratcliffe, because strange things have been happening in Ratcliffe,
Mhm.
I wonder, Welly, can you not?
which was also weird, like going back to Ratcliffe, but like as the dads, I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's a very different place because it's very much because when you guys went there as the girls, it's like, well, this is potentially a good place for us to hide because no one will look for us here. And when you
Yeah.
guys went there as the dads, all three of you, to varying degrees, went in there with a sense of Ew.
Poor people.
even Harold. I know Harold spends time there, but it's a case of like, well, I go here because no one will catch me doing the dirty, disgusting things that I do.
Yeah. Well, it was also
Yeah.
that was kind of said explicitly because there was that whole bit where you had to roll to deception in front of all the council at the Brotherhood. That like
Love
you
that.
actually haven't been investigating
Love
the mood in Ratcliffe. You actually just go to the brothel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he is investigating the mood in that sense.
yeah. But like,
It's a very joyous,
Very specific
Yeah.
moods,
It's
yes.
very-
but it was just
very uplifting.
It was really interesting with the classes because like the girls obviously are classist because we're all
Yeah.
you know every character, every player character is you know an aristocrat, but the girls have obviously sort of slowly had their eyes opened to class things through their experiences because they've sort of had to. The dads have never been in the position where they've even had to think about it. And it was really
It
interesting.
was fun to not play the most classist of them all.
Yeah, that's a nice break for you. It wasn't fun. It's not fun, is it?
Well, yeah, your classism stuff is kind of like fully switched over. You kind of stuck in the middle, I guess.
Welly,
Yeah.
stop.
But yeah, going from Rosalind, who's kind of the least classist, to Frederick, who's like the most classist. But the thing that's interesting is like, Frederick was so like, well, I'll talk to Parliament and we'll try and make it safer for everybody. Like, it's terrible. The conditions are terrible, but like, I'm still going to go back to White's for my dinner.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely,
not
yeah.
staying
I'm not gonna
here.
stay.
Yeah, well, that
Like-
was one of them. Is like
Yeah.
them literally getting
All
an
three of
hour
them.
coach to go back to White's to get lunch, to get an hour coach back to
Yeah.
Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving private jet, honestly.
But yeah, it was just strange. And it was strange as well, like, hearing all the stuff about what was going on in Ratcliffe, like, with the knowledge of how badly it was all going to go and, like, how much worse it was than they thought it was. Because when, I don't know about you guys, but when we were talking to the Reverend, as Frederick, I was really like, well, we'll get it under control. Like, he was really confident. I mean, Frederick is always really overconfident about things and, like, his own power. I mean, that's the plot of the show, is, like, male pride was its own downfall.
Yeah.
Like, that's Demons and Daughters.
Yeah.
But I really felt it in Ratcliffe because I was really like, okay, there's a ghost. That's kind of nothing. We've all dealt with ghosts before.
Yeah.
Yes, the fact there's a ghost means that there was some disturbing activity, but, and there's these, these men meeting on the full moons. That's odd. But, like, we've stamped out things like that before. Frederick was very much thinking of it as like, oh, maybe it was like a small cult. Maybe there was like one demon they were trying to like, do something where they would, I never suspected as Frederick for a second that this was anything really big or dangerous. Like, I never suspected this was bigger than we had imagined,
Well, these three have literally fought demons before. There's that the portrait.
Yeah.
No, landscape.
But the painting.
The painting of them fighting the big thing. So like that's nothing compared to
Yeah.
So you need to go for a wee or something.
the ghosts are nothing compared to that.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Dog has.
So the dog
dog's
is a
having moment.
combination of very smart and very not smart.
The dog is me, for real.
Great at learning tricks, great at responding most of the time, but if it sees something it wants, it's like, I'm not going to stop
I'm gonna
thinking about
cry
it, even
now.
when it's gone.
Me, for real.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah.
What else is there? Because you went there, returned. I'm trying to remember the order of things.
Yeah, so we went there and then we fought.
You went to
We
see Duna.
we were
You
we
went
went
to
to see
see
Duna before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so funny.
I got a bracelet.
It was so funny. Do you know what I love about Duna? That she really was like, fuck these rich men. Like, I'll engage with the girls when they come through. Because she was so different with them than she was with the girls. And I really liked that because obviously, like, she knows what's up.
You better now, pal?
Better? Happy now?
Huzzah!
He's
This way. This way.
Yippee.
Come on then.
Good boy. Wow.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Down.
We apologise for that brief.
Yeah.
Lie down. I don't have any treats. So
We'll edit that
that's
out
not
later.
good.
I've given him so many treats
How
today.
will we?
It's a joke. It's a Christmas joke.
Well, it's... Oh, that's why I don't get it. It's April. We went to see Duna.
You bought a bracelet.
I got a bracelet.
Full bracelet.
I knew the bracelet wasn't magical, but like it's a bit of fun. Did Harold know it wasn't magical?
Yeah. No.
No. Harold rolled really low and was
Yeah,
like, I'll buy one of them.
Yeah, I do have to admit because there are certain things that I don't remember because I was meant to be watching the show,
Oh, yeah.
the stream last week,
course.
but my Wi-Fi was not working, and so I completely missed it.
Yeah.
So there are like tiny little things that I don't remember.
No, I'm pretty sure Harold, like, just bought it thinking,
Yeah,
oh, maybe it'll help.
No, because we all rolled and Harold rolled a natural one. That's why you. And then
okay.
went. You're already pulling your money out.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
that
cool.
was really
All right.
good.
As myself though, obviously knew it's not going to do anything, but you know it's a bit of fun.
If there was an actual witch class in D&D,
Oh, for Rosalind,
any
that
of
would
you
be great.
have been tempted to play one, that would have been narratively very interesting for Rosalind.
Yeah, Duna's...
And-
Yeah.
But it's the thing is like I think Duna would have been a witch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that's what Duna's class would be.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Duna is fantastic.
Love her.
I want to
and-
know more about her. I
Yeah.
want to see more interactions with her. I want to see if... Because so far, it's only really been alluded to that she's magical. It's
We
like,
still
it's
don't really have it confirmed.
No confirmations have been made. She actually... I don't think she's done anything crazy magical. She's just
She
given
sort
you
of
kind of
opens
like...
doors
opens
and lights
doors
like
and it's like-
She knows all of our names though, and she knew
Yeah.
all of the father's names.
She knew they
Yeah.
were broken, lost, and scattered.
Yeah. And that could mean...
so many things.
Yeah.
That could mean...
But like,
Like, she probably is, but I like that we've still not seen any of her magic, if she, whatever it is that she can do, because it just preserves that, like, well, we don't know. And what I think is so cool about the world building of the Demons and Daughters verse, is the way Lyndon, and it was a lot in Fathers and Failures, there was a lot of talk about witchcraft, you know, in historical witchcraft, and how the Brotherhood stamped it out. Like, and it was, women cavorting with like demons, you know, we can't have that, we can't have women doing magic stuff, and like Duna is kind of that. And so the way they were like, is Duna just like a charlatan, is she just pretending, or is she this, it kind of implies that like not just people in the Brotherhood can have magic, you know, like there could be sorcerers born to other people, but that's just like not allowed and not trained and not known about because they're not privileged and male enough to be in the Brotherhood.
I just read that as she didn't know Harold's name. Like his name is Harold.
Oh no, because like
Mr. Pentecost.
yeah, because she
not-
was like
yeah.
Frederick Gilbert, Mr. Pentecost. Which is really
But I
funny.
completely misread that.
That's really funny. But yeah, and that's all of that sort of loops back to I think what I was getting to with the point I was making earlier about Frederick finding out about Rosalind, and that being like the biggest time bomb for me of the whole show, because like Rosalind has known all along that like by trying, like Rosalind this whole time has been on this quest to like win Frederick's love by like proving herself to him, but she knows the way she has done that means he will never love her. Like, she knows the way she has done that means that she has ruined any chance she ever had, because like I think, and I'm saying this with Lyndon out of the room, which is interesting, but like I don't think Frederick will ever accept Rosalind having magic, which is also an interesting gay allegory actually now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, and now she's a warlock, that's just like even more confirmed, because that's everything the Brotherhood stands against. Like, you have sold your soul to a demon, not just a demon, but the demon who is like the symbol of women going against the patriarchy. Like, that's everything Lilith is specifically. Like, I don't, you know, I think that Frederick is just going to be so horrified, and like deep down Rosalind has always known that, like since all the ring stuff started. And it was weird to play that out from Frederick's side. You know, obviously nothing to do with Rosalind, but Frederick hated Duna. Like, and I feel like you could see it in the way, like, he kept being like, well, you know, you can't have a civilized conversation with her. And he was, by the end, he was really like, all right, let's go. There's nothing here. Like, there's no point to this, because he just like couldn't like engage with her. Like, he didn't see her as somebody. He just had this aversion to her from that.
You like immediately wrote her off.
Yeah,
which is just
yeah,
kind of like,
yeah.
well, then you can't gain anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you immediately
Yes.
write someone off, you can't gain anything.
Yeah.
From this.
Tinctures.
Frederick, Gilbert was obsessed with tinctures and scoping.
If Frederick refuses to accept Rosalind, the only logical conclusion is for her to found a secret sisterhood society of demon fighters.
I like that.
Yeah.
That would be very slay.
Yeah.
Rosalind, don't you mean...
Wait, what? What were you about to say?
I was going to say, Rosalind, don't you mean a society of demon fuckers? That's the joke I was going to make. And then I stopped myself. But here we are.
They're not wrong.
Because I'm not. And I stopped myself because I didn't want
Listen, I
to...
didn't mean for Rosalind to be a monster fucker.
No, but if you had to...
Let's move on.
Okay.
If I had to what? Do I want to know the end of that?
If Rosalind had to pick between Talia, her girlfriend as she currently is, who turns into a demon, or Talia, her girlfriend exactly the same, just doesn't turn into a demon, I know which one she would pick.
We know the answer.
So I don't need to comment. I don't need to say it. It's fine.
I actually think the solution is to... I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. No spoilers for things. Because actors...
You're looking at me like I said something.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, next point.
I missed. Don't say anything.
Because I'm going to.
Good.
What just happened?
I thought I
I
didn't
don't
say
know.
anything
I
more.
don't know.
So I thought
They were saying don't say anything because they missed whatever they were doing and you were the only person to see it.
And the fact that you actually didn't see it made me call it.
Again, this is stuff that we would edit out.
Yeah,
The
I
amount
would
of
edit that
stuff
out.
where something is said and Morne just goes,
What?
Huh?
What?
Sorry, why
I
is
love
one of
you.
Seth's names going to be Rickingdyke?
That's the last name. And that means just. Because I think Seth is pretty just. And then I was like, I probably shouldn't have it as that one, to be honest.
yeah.
Anyway.
I read this as smooch.
I read this as Turbo, which is just...
Oh, yes, Seth Turbo. Let's go.
Oh my god, okay.
We should move on to
Ghosts.
the ghost.
Oh god, that sucked.
They
Yeah,
they were
sucked.
awful.
Not good.
That was true. It's
I
so...
will say, by this point of rewatching it, I was so gone.
That fight took a lot of editing as well. Like, that was it edited to be, like, you know, narratively smooth, which it was. But, like, when I say we were rolling so badly, so consistently, like, our dads
Be small.
were bad. And
It
it's
took so long.
It makes me laugh. I love it. I love so much. It's so funny that the whole show is like, you know, your dads were the fist, they were the best, they can handle a ghost was nothing. And this combat was obviously put in to showcase how strong and powerful our dads were.
They
There
kept
was a reason
failing.
we did this little mini thing with Eloise. One, because it's a cool throwback to Act 1, but, you know, because, you know, I think it was supposed to set up that like our dads were the best fighters, and then they were awful.
They were so bad.
Which
The
was
amount
really
of times they had
funny.
to restart getting this ghost into the box, I swear.
No,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
so
It was.
funny.
I can't explain. So the
I
set's
really
not
completed
up
that.
anymore.
Sorry,
The set's not
stop.
the same anymore, but I'm normally behind the screen writing my little notes, hidden away from everyone, hidden in my little dark corner, writing notes about everything's going on, so I get to see the whole unedited thing. And Jesus Christ, I reached a point where I reached a point where I had to like stop myself from going like, just fucking shoot him, just like do something, like actually do anything, like literally anything, like because the thing is they weren't even like the attempts were abysmal.
Harold punching Gilbert.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Because
The guy did that!
This was aggressive. I apologise. I need your opinion on this because I see how, watching it back, it came across slightly questionable. But I thought that it was very clear that Gilbert was saying, you have never been able to punch me with your fist, no matter how many times you've tried, because you're very slow at punching and I'm very quick. You have never been able to. Not, you have never punched me. You've never attempted to punch me.
Never just attacked me.
You use your weapon is a gun. So any time that you have had to go against me, you have shot your gun because you use a gun.
Yes.
And Morne, no idea.
Okay.
It was so confused.
But what you guys
so
all
I
have
want
to
your
understand
opinion.
is that sometimes Harold is dumb.
Yeah, but
And we
so
love him
am
for
I.
that.
I totally get what you... Thank you.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
thing is,
I agreed with you.
Yeah, it's one of
But
those...
is that what you all got when you watched it?
That's what I got.
No, I got it. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
also, Sabi says, what level were they?
They were level 11.
Which is cool because I always thought our dads were level 10.
I always thought they were
Right,
level 11.
everyone's saying that they got it.
Yeah.
I am a
Wasn't
Wasn't
that
that
clear
clear
from the
get-go?
get-go? Well, to be fair, Lyndon thought the same as you.
Okay.
So Lyndon is also
That
a dumb
makes me
bitch.
feel a bit better.
What's that?
We're dumb bitches.
About Gilbert being like, you haven't hit me.
In all fairness, I understand why Harold decided to... I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of...
I don't.
I understand.
I
because
genuinely
it's-
don't.
I can't remember. You weren't in demon form at this time, were you?
Yes.
You
No.
were.
No.
No, you weren't. You weren't.
No.
Mm-mm.
So I understand why Harold didn't want to shoot someone looking like one
I
of his
don't.
friends.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fucked up. That's ultimately fucked up.
Well, no, because I think they've been in a situation so many times where it's just like...
And you've been in demon form, in my mind.
Yeah, I
Every
agree.
time
I
a
agree
situation
with
where
that.
Harold has had to shoot
Yeah,
Gilbert,
but
it's been like, well, you're in demon form, this is for your own good.
I
When you're
also
just a dude, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I kind of don't want to shoot you, you're one of my friends.
Sure. So try once to hit me, realise, oh, I've never been able to hit you
Yes.
since we were 16.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Then fucking shoot me.
2, 3, 4 was kind of like, there was a point where I wrote grapple in my notebook and I was behind the
Yeah.
camera going, just try to grapple, try anything else.
Yeah.
I'm really like, my AC is, 21?
Yeah, so
you
bad.
are not going to be able to hit
Yeah.
me with your fist.
Also, Neil's saying from the descriptions that you assumed the dads were level 16. I
Interesting.
like that because I like that our dads have always been sort of like set up and idolized as like heroes.
Being
But
the best.
actually, I think what Lyndon quite often says about the world building is that no humans are really super powerful in this universe. Like, our dads are the most powerful and they were level 11. Like,
Yeah.
I think
it
we're-
says a lot about this, like, just the level demons and humans and, like, sort of, you know, this world's version of, like, adventurers are in Demons and Daughters verse. I don't know why I've started calling it that. I don't really like it. I can't stop. But, yeah, like, they are actually not that powerful, but, like, compared to everyone else in Regency England,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
I like it. I think
correct.
it's really cool. But yeah, Frederick had some cool spells and like the
Yeah.
amount of sorcery points Frederick had. I really can only dream of. It was very cool.
You'll get there.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
I know.
really was like, holy shit, the next time the chance in the campaign when if we ever see Frederick again, Frederick's going to be 30 years older is crazy. Like that,
Oh my God.
that moment there,
Yeah.
I was
No,
really
stop.
sat there like, Frederick's going to be this guy and he's like, what? How, like 70s?
He was gonna have been in his
Like,
70s if I hadn't had
Yeah.
that one feature.
I sulked so hard about that.
You did.
yeah.
But I also just think
Were
that
you sulked about him not being 30 or the fact that he
Yeah.
was going to be?
No, not. I think that would be
not being
better.
30.
I think it would have been- I think it
being
would-
70.
I meant 30 years older.
Yeah.
I think it would have been great.
Yeah.
The first time how everyone react to Gilbert's whole transformation, like the thought of her. as
Yeah,
older, I just like
yeah.
to see that.
What? The first turn, how did everyone react to it? I don't understand.
Like seeing Gilbert transform
Don't know what you mean
it
there,
was
babes.
amazing. Like it was so cool.
It was just fun. It was fun because me and Lyndon have spoken loads
Yeah.
about, he would always say that like he thinks Talia could just like phew, and like shoot it all off, and we were really like, no, Gilbert does that. Like
Little
little
scrawny Gilbert.
scrawny little Gilbert with his little glasses coming along like this, who's always a bit hunched from reading a book.
I love him. I love him.
Just like because he's actually fucking ripped, just like "Huh," and like bursts
Yeah.
into this giant demon,
And
and I'm
it's
really
so
obsessed
good.
with it. And
And I love that.
I like that he honed it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's not how he started.
You practice
obviously.
that.
Like he practiced to be that way because he thought it was cool.
Yeah. And I
And the
like.
first time he did it, I know that the other two went fuck. Frederick, who knows? Harold went fucking wild.
No,
for
Frederick
that.
applauded. Frederick was
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
like. I think what's really nice is like when Gilbert turns. And I think it got said in the episode, and it was another thing really cool compared to the girls who sort of, you know, don't know what they're doing and had to start from square one. But it was cool playing people with like strategies and battle
Yeah.
who like know each other as fighters. Because like when Gilbert transformed, I don't know about you, but I really was like, oh, we're in the battle now. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like that's one of our, like that's your power move.
Yeah.
And like, you know, we knew it so well
And
like,
I
as your
didn't-
friends, and it was really cool, and it was really like, well,
It
this
was-
is what we do.
It
you
was
know?
so strange going into a fight like that where we were surrounded, like we were so like outnumbered.
Yeah.
And as the girls, we would have been so stressed. But I didn't experience any of it because I was sent off too quickly to be like,
Yeah,
oh, we're
that's
going to
true.
lose this.
That's true.
Like, I thought we were going to win.
Yeah, I'll talk about my experience with that when we get to it, because I had a very different one.
It's one of those things where it's like, in this story, it's like, ultimately, the Gilbert transformation is cool, but it was one of those things where when I was watching it in my head, I was like, oh, I think ultimately the funniest thing for Gilbert's character is like, in Doctor Who, the Slitheen, just the hold up, put it down, ready to go,
The closest I could get was taking his glasses off.
Yeah, exactly.
The glasses off was such a cool move. I really like that.
I don't know where the glasses went because like his clothes would have all ripped. So, but they're still.
But also, it's just propriety. You
Yeah.
know, like he.
I think his clothes stay like they're just ripped and tattered.
Like the Hulk.
They don't like burst off.
Yeah.
Not like his skin.
Yeah.
Like bits explode off, but they're still like I think
He's kind of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he keeps his bit of a like. I just feel like there's like
Bit of a
part of a
shirt.
shirt.
Yeah, if you go there, you'll definitely just see the pocket with the glasses.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I feel like the one thing that doesn't rip because it's a loose bit is the pocket with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Icon. But yeah, there was a brief moment where Frederick was almost 70.
That was really
and then I remembered that
That
he
would have
has...
been horrific for Frederick.
Yeah.
Of all of
I
them.
think the thing that was nice was that, like, the thing that saved him from that was Favoured by the Gods, which Rosalind also has, which is just, like, cool. I love mechanics when they're, like,
I just think
story.
it would have been so funny for Frederick to
It
be
would have
fucking
been.
like 72.
It would have been really funny.
I think it would just be like...
But I think it was a really good moment, though, for him. Like, that he almost had that, and then he was like, no. And then, like, didn't.
Oh, yeah, the male
like,
privilege is just being like, no, actually.
Yeah. But, like, it just really made me giggle. That was really cool. We did eventually win the fight, but we won it not by successfully using the box, but by weakening Eloise so much that she had to go in, which again, the girls versus their dads, male privilege experience versus the way the girls would go about anything.
No,
really interesting.
You got her in the box from the box.
But we got her to 0 hit points and she went into the box.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
No, you got her into the box.
Yeah.
She got in the box.
Yeah.
By using the box mechanics.
No, we used the box mechanics a lot. We never did 3 successful ones in a row. What happened was because she got down. No. You made that choice because of how the story was going. It was a whole thing. But because Frederick's tactic was, and it's interesting because obviously I didn't expect that with how that was happening because I didn't think we would fuck up so bad using the box so many times. But Frederick's tactic was we weaken her so that she's more susceptible to go into the box, and then that's what happened. And that just felt like a very male way to go about it, and then that's what actually happened. And then the girls were just like, hi Eloise, you're our best friend now.
That was funny.
Love Eloise.
I love
It was funny
Eloise.
coming back with the box. No, they didn't come back with the box, but the
They left
quartermaster
it.
being like, "Can I have my box?" And they were like, "No."
It's got a ghost in it.
Ooh, the box. The box. What? The box.
The
What?
hat. The hat and the box.
I quite frankly don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
Gilbert just lying again. No, it was Gilbert realising later on, oh, no, that was a lie that I told.
Oh, I love him. That was so funny.
Then you had your final night, I guess.
Yeah. God, it was weird. It was weird starting that day knowing as a player what was going to happen, but the character having not a clue. The character having so much confidence that this would just be the same as every other like task and battle they'd had. Like, knowing as a player and like knowing that we were like the last talk with Atticus. Is it mechanically possible for Eloise to be at the engagement party? Find out! Find out. Next week.
Hey, don't just wait a week. Just wait a week,
Have
actually.
some patience.
Have some
bro.
patience. What else are you doing? How busy is your week? Just wait.
But what were we saying? Yeah, Atticus. We had like a final goodbye with Atticus, and like obviously nobody knew that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was editing it, it was a moment. So editing Fathers and Failures, I genuinely, Rio can attest to this. I had to walk away from the computer so many times and just like do a lap of the flat because I was really like this is so horrible, I'm gonna cry, I like can't deal with this. And one of those moments that got me like that first was Atticus, and the fact that last conversation they ever had ended with see you tomorrow, good luck, we don't need it, but good luck, I don't need it either, we could deal with this on our own, frankly, yeah, us too, see you tomorrow. Like,
ba, 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 ba. You know?
but like it's sad, like obviously like I just made fun of it, but like that was actually genuinely a really genuine moment between them all, and it reminded me of us saying goodbye to Seth.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of Seth just fully believing that he would see the girls later, and
Cool.
that made me really,
Yeah. The best natural one in the game. Best natural one I've ever rolled. Yeah,
it was really sad.
Difference is the girls knew they were lying and the fathers were just stupid. So
But that's what
they
was
were
sad.
overconfident, that's the one, not stupid.
Like the fathers genuinely believed they would see Atticus tomorrow.
My cup's been on this table the whole time. It's not had anything in it.
Neither is mine.
Okay.
Proceed.
It's dry.
Do you want some water?
Nah.
I believe you. I just want to see.
There is
Okay.
water.
Yeah, it's there.
Do you want to pour some water? We can do a water pouring segment.
Which would also usually be
Entertaining.
I don't want boring old plain water. Yuck.
Boil it then after a while.
Stinky.
Get me some
Bring
sugar.
Seth back with stats.
I'd love to.
Hashtag bring stuff.
I don't think
I
Lyndon
want-
will ever let Seth have stats, even if it makes sense. Even if we train Seth for months and months and months, I don't think he's ever getting stats.
Seth wouldn't get stats if you trained him for months. He would just get bruises.
Yeah,
That's
I really,
what I'm saying.
We've
He'd
had
get despondent.
That's really
me
sad.
and
Well, I want more water.
me and Lyndon have
Hi,
had
guys.
private conversations.
More-
So me and Lyndon
more
have had some
glass,
private
really.
conversations just about what's going on in Bledlow, about what Seth would know, and I'd be like, oh, by the way, so is there like any chance? And Lyndon goes like, the more you ask, the higher the chances I'm going to kill you. And I'm like,
Please.
good
drink
to
some
know,
water.
good to know, dude. So
Why would you do that and then not drink any?
fingers crossed. They're doing the thing.
Seth can start pulling on those threads. Sure, see where it takes
I don't.
him.
Yeah, see, I'm scared too because Seth is just a little lad.
He's just a little lad.
He's just a little lad.
He's truly just a little lad.
How did you do that?
I'm just a little lad.
How did you do that?
Please drink some water.
Head into that basement.
No.
I'm
No, little German boy, don't go in the bed.
Yeah,
No, little-
what would
Oh my
happen if
God.
we took Seth
Oh my
into
god,
the-
no, my little British boy, don't go into the
My
basement.
God.
My god.
Oh God. My God.
What are we talking about?
Guys, I'm so tired.
We've gone manic.
We can just jump to the fight.
I'm listening.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hey, don't worry. I know some people are here with me.
Yeah. I'm trying so hard to be.
I'm on your side, bro.
But yeah, we left the Brotherhood and we never went back until Harold got dragged there unconscious by his children.
Yeah.
And
That's
so yeah,
nice.
we went to the house and hid behind some sheds because of male arrogance, I guess. Why did they do that?
I don't know. What a deranged thing. Oh, there's some sheds over there. I guess we'll go stand behind them and wait.
That one was like, is this the characters or the players? I genuinely have no idea. Like, what the fuck?
No, but that means that it's the characters' choices too.
I just think they were so... Because I don't know about you two. My mindset as Frederick was really just like, well, we wait here, then they'll arrive, and we'll defeat them if we have to. Because that's what we do, because we always win. You know?
Or we'll follow them in, see where they go, and then we'll...
Yeah.
You know, because I don't want to miss them. I don't want to, like, be in the house and then they've got a secret entrance in a shed, apparently.
Yeah, but we did hide behind the sheds, and then you...
3 men. 3 fully grown men. One who's very tall, one who's quite large, and another one who's just
Who turns
there,
into a
who
demon.
turns into a demon. All hid behind one single shed.
Frederick Penhallow is like 6 feet tall, guys.
It's truly the
I don't
last.
know what else to say.
Yeah, the last time I hid behind a shed was like in school, avoiding school. Like, and there's no reason that
so many times I was like, these are schoolboys, and they haven't grown since school.
But and it's the same as all privileged men. They're just eating lads, you know.
Yeah.
But
shout out to our Eastern viewers. Oh, we're getting
don't.
As if we
don't have any. We don't have any.
Fuck off.
No.
Not for you.
It's not for you.
It's not for you.
Go away! Scram!
We don't want to talk to you.
Leave her alone!
Scram. Morne, I love you so much. Gilbert smelled death on the wind.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
don't know what that meant.
And, well, it meant Eloise was in the well. And
Was Eloise already in the well?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a ghost. That's
She's
why
a
she was
ghost.
dead.
Do you think-
I'm so
She's dead.
tired, guys. I was aware of that while we were playing. I don't know
I know.
anything anymore.
But then Gilbert saw multiple pairs of red eyes,
Yeah.
which were the demons.
Mm.
And then we realised that we were surrounded. And that was a weird moment because it's sort of what Maijai was saying earlier, like, as a player, even though I knew that they weren't getting out of that, like, as Frederick at that point, I still had hope. As Frederick at that point, I was like, oh, fuck, you know, I did have that moment of like, well, this is not what we expected, this is not what we planned for, but with a fist, this is what we're here for, we can do this.
Hey, I'm listening to you. So I feel like I'm driving a car,
Rio,
and every once in a while,
Rio, I'm trying
someone
so
reaches
hard.
over and grabs the steering wheel and just fucking yeets it
I
that
hope
way.
they know, they can see
And
how hard I'm
I
trying.
keep pulling it back, and every once in a while, someone grabs on like, no, don't worry, we're going
I'm
the
trying
right way.
so hard.
And we're doing great, and then every once in a while, someone just punches me in the testicles, and we fucking go that way. Because I don't know what's going on anymore.
I'm trying so
No,
hard.
I know you are.
I didn't have a moment of being like, we're not going to win this.
Because you were gone. Because the thing is, the moment that made me realise, oh, we're not winning, is you going.
Yeah.
You know?
It
Yeah.
took
Sorry, I just remembered something. But
It took Harold a little bit longer to admit that, we've lost.
I remember the moment you were like, he's not feeling arrogant anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like right at the end, like Frederick was blind and you were like,
Yeah.
that was when Harold gave up.
Yeah.
Like, Frederick was like blind and feeble-minded, I swear.
Yeah. It took...
Yeah.
I think... I mean, once again, privileged man has never had to lose,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And had never had to admit that, oh, I am about to lose. It was like, I'm never going to lose. Like, things might go badly, but in the end...
we don't lose.
We don't lose. Like,
Maybe we don't kill all the people we were meant to.
But we turn it around and we get what we want.
And none of us are damaged or like lost or gone. Like we all come out alive and fine.
That's always happened before. Why not now?
Yeah.
And then there was a very, very specific moment.
Yeah.
I think it was when we were on the horses.
Oh God.
I think it was as late as that. Well, I was like,
we're fucked.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
And that, I think for Harold, like personally, having to admit, oh yeah, that's it. Like,
yeah,
we're done for.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
I think that would have been like a real blow to his ego. And especially like knowing, well, yeah, obviously, and then like knowing later on when he wakes up and like Agatha's like, you weren't a very good dad. Like he's like, oh, so I'm not a good member of the Fist and I'm not a good dad. Like,
no, that's so true. He really had to face like everything.
Yeah,
but that's very cool.
Yeah.
What was it like getting banished as Gilbert? Because
Oh,
obviously, like the last episode that's aired, it is, you know, Talia saw Gilbert.
I did.
And where he was, and you experienced it from Talia's perspective, and then you had to play it out from Gilbert's perspective. Like, what was that like? I'm so fascinated by that.
Strange because from Talia's point of view, it's very like, okay, but we're gonna save you. Like, you're obviously not stuck here. What do you mean? You know, she's not got that far yet because she's like in it. But like,
But
you know, like she's not going to be like, oh well, that's it, he's gone forever.
We're all stuck on another plane.
I'll never try and do anything to get you back. Whole point of our show is finding our fathers, you know. And it was so strange as Gilbert having it and feeling that like your soul is here now, you're never leaving, this is where you belong, was so like
Lyndon described that so beautifully.
Yeah, because this was, I don't know, because I was really like, Lyndon's gonna have to do something specific to get me, Maijai, to believe that is the case.
That's true.
Because like, as much as I'll feel whatever Gilbert feels because that's what he feels, like me, Maijai, different. Whereas like in the moment, me, Maijai, different. Whereas like in the moment, I was really like,
what's Lyndon just said?
Fibble-minded.
But I don't know. Fibble-minded. What is that? Funny.
But no, it was really strange, fully and wholeheartedly believing Gilbert is stuck here and is never coming back.
God.
Like, it was so strange.
Yeah.
Because I have obviously never had that thought, and Talia's never going to accept that.
Yeah.
So, like, and it was so strange how quickly it was, because I had sort of assumed that Gilbert was there and then had been there for a while and like tried something, or like and like it had been enough time, you know, he'd hoped that, you know, he's seen spells happen before and like maybe this will stop after a minute, and like I thought he would wait, and I thought he would get somewhere, I thought he would try something and all of this not work, and then him be like, this is it and I'm stuck here. But it wasn't. It was so, you get there, you see it, and you know you're never leaving. Like, I was really like...
So this Fathers and Foes was so odd, because so much of it, I think, we knew where it was going, and so we were in this almost, like, mania as players of, like, you know, playing out the good stuff and the everyday stuff, and then this last hour was really just, like, being pelted with bricks.
It was
like over and over again. Like, and it was incredible. Like, it was such a good experience as a player, but it was horrendous emotionally as the characters.
It was truly horrendous.
It was, you know, these men, I mean, when we knew it, like, they lost everything. They experienced the worst outcome they could ever have fathomed, and we had to go through, and we knew that we had to go through that.
Watching it back, really, the sense of impending doom.
Yeah.
Done brilliantly.
Yeah, but it was so horrific.
It was interesting because, like, as Frederick, like, he knew before he accepted that they'd lost, he knew that they'd lost. And I've just remembered the thing I kept coming back to, the thing Frederick kept repeating throughout the episode was, this is what we're here for, which is interesting because that's what he actually says in the message recorded for Archibald at the trials, is this is what our family is here for. And I think what he kept coming back to was, well, we can't lose, and even if we die doing this, we can't lose, because this is why we exist. This is what the Brotherhood is for. So it's fine that we're in the worst, you know, we exist to be in worst case scenarios, you know, for the good of the world, for the good of everything. So we can't lose, and so we can't stop fighting, and we can't give up. And like, Frederick was the one who, because of the spells that were used, was forced to give up. Like, that was ripped from him, and it was just horrendous. Like, I had a point I was making with this, and now I'm just really like, oh god, that was the worst thing ever. But it was seeing you get banished and like knowing you weren't like coming back. And then the amount of cultists who were there, the amount we were surrounded. And then Lyndon had me roll an insight, and I got that somebody knew who we were, knew that's where we were going to be, and we'd been set up for this. Like, we had been betrayed, and that is what broke me as Frederick, because like, for, you know, I'm sure it was similar for you guys, like, the Brotherhood is like this untouchable institution to Frederick. Like, it's been there, it's as old as time, it's never fallen, nobody would ever betray it. It's like, it is so solid, and it's everything sacred. And the thought that had been lost, that somebody had betrayed us, there was no safety there anymore, that was gone, that's really world-ending stuff, you know? That is like the end of everything. And that broke me. And then the fact that, like, God, watching it back was so odd. It was watching it back that I could see the Rosalind Frederick parallel line. It's not even parallel lines because it's Rosalind having studied him all her life.
Yeah.
But like playing that out unknowingly from his side of like he felt all of that and he was so angry, and he doesn't do that because he's perfect, you know. And so he pulled himself up and he did the thing. Like, Frederick did the thing that Rosalind has always done, you know, in the sort of male patriarch confident way rather than the, like, genuinely insecure woman way. But, like, he had a moment of, like, okay, but I pull myself up, I take a breath, I go back in. And Rosalind, you know, from day one, I've always described as, okay, she takes a moment, like, she fixes herself, like, she does something. And that was really weird to play out from, like, his side. But it was just, like... It was over for Frederick in that moment, and he knew it was, but he couldn't stop fighting because that's what he was there for. Yeah. But like, I think then he got blinded, and then he swore, which I thought was really funny, or not funny, but it was just really. It summed up all of the above because fucking blinded me. Like it was really funny, but it was also like that's him giving up. Yeah. That's him knowing. That's him saying to Harold as his lead, like not as his leader, but like Frederick is kind of in charge. Harold, we're giving up. Like we can't win. We're done for. Like we're fucked, and our home is fucked. The Brotherhood is fucked. It was so bad. It was bad to experience.
I'm so glad that I was the first one out and I didn't have to experience
that.
I can't put into words how awful it was.
It really.
And then you got the most awful thing that's ever happened.
You had the most horrific thing ever.
Yeah.
I think for a very long time, even though I knew that Frederick had to go.
Yeah. Had to go.
You're done.
Hey, the future says I gotta lose you.
I'm gonna choke.
Oh, don't do that.
That was live.
Yeah, I'm fine. So almost died on live. But there was a part of me was like,
so long.
Yeah. Like I couldn't let go.
Yeah.
I had to save him.
I remember there's a moment where you just like you realise that there's no other option, and like Harold just collapses, and it's kind of you and it's also Harold, and I could really see both of you just being like, fuck.
Because there was
I don't want to do it, but like
me realising what I had to do, and then Harold realising what he had to do.
Yeah.
And like it was. Yeah. Straight up not having a good time.
The way Lyndon
the
switched. The way Lyndon, I thought it was gorgeous DMing. The switch from we're in battle mode, we're in initiative to I'm going to tell the story now because it's become inevitable. Yeah. Like it just has to be like I don't care about the initiative, I don't care about the mechanics anymore. Harold, you're running and you're shooting, and like the way that last section was described was so gorgeous and so awful and like inescapable. And the moment I think Lyndon, because obviously what we knew from Harold, like Harold had said he had to abandon Frederick because of the state he was in because of this spell, and Frederick would have wanted that. That's what they all would have done. That's what had to happen, and it was. There was no other option. But the subtlety of having it not be that he had to leave him somewhere or abandon him, he had to physically let go and let him fall from the horse.
Yeah. And not even just I have to leave you
I have to push
somewhere.
him almost. Like
I have to let go, I have to push you, but I also have to push you to incoming hellhounds.
Yeah.
Like, because that
the
was
demons are like at
we
your
always
house.
knew they were chasing us. And we always knew he'd been left behind. But we didn't. I don't know about you guys, but I always sort of thought that like they were kind of further ahead. And in my head, they were always underground. Don't know why. They're in like a sewer or something.
I saw that sometimes.
Yeah. But they were always further ahead, and it was that moment like you see in movies where they like stop
and look back
and they look back and there's like a conversation between them, because at the time when we were told, we didn't know about Frederick.
We knew like his brain was not working.
Yeah, but we didn't know that he didn't have any control of speech.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We didn't know that he couldn't comprehend language.
I'd never imagined Frederick speaking in that moment. I think because of how it was described. I can see why like it didn't say he couldn't.
Yeah.
Like
and
but the fact that the hellhounds were there,
they were biting at their ankles.
Yeah,
like, it was the last minute.
As snapping at the horse.
It was you let go of Frederick now, or you're both going down.
Yeah,
and that was a horrific realization to come to.
It was Lyndon saying to you, you know what Frederick would say. One of you has to survive. Lyndon, when I catch you. Lyndon Rufus Winters.
And then I just think about all of us being, when Harold is like, I left him behind, as anyone would, and us being like, we wouldn't.
And
Horrible.
Yeah, but this,
Horrible.
but we
We
didn't
didn't understand.
But that's what I mean when I
Like-
say I think this episode gave, like, the audience, the players, we now have so much more for Harold. You know, because that man is so traumatized. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Context is important.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I
what we've
Harold.
learned.
Well, he is finally asleep.
As we're ending.
I think he's been asleep
We
for
have.
last episode.
He's been asleep for quite
I mean,
a while.
it's to give my 2 cents on the matter.
Yeah.
Because at no point during that conversation I could have jumped in. I had to let you guys say
Sorry.
your No, don't apologise. You
But
guys
we also
had to say
couldn't
your
have gotten
things.
to the point of saying that
No.
without you being here.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you
absolutely.
see how this is going.
So you're welcome.
Your presence just helps us.
But it's one of those things where it is, during Fathers and Failures, I very much came to understand more that the fathers, just like everyone else, is a product of their environment.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about nature versus nurture. Don't at me. Nurture's a big part of it.
Don't at me.
Don't at me. Actually, don't at me.
At
Don't talk to me.
Rio
Don't,
Llewellyn.
do not mention me in the comments. Do not say anything in the. Do not at me. I do not exist.
Philosophically debate with
And if you do, you'll lose. You won't. Maybe not. But it's one of those things where it's
I'm gonna add
these.
them later tonight.
Yeah, and you'll lose. And there's it very much came to a thing of like during the last fight where everything was losing. It very much came to, because it's just a very side story. It's like, yes, obviously these guys are not all fully good people and they're all very bad and they're all products of the environment, and it is very much down to the case of like, yes, the patriarchy have also failed these 3 gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's very much like they have been told it is your job as men to protect the world, and now they've had some of the worst fates imaginable. You know?
Yeah.
So
it's almost like patriarchy doesn't work
For anyone.
for anyone.
Yeah.
It's almost like
it
the
hurts everyone.
patriarchy hurts the patriarchs as well.
Did Lyndon just put a tentacle in the chat?
Lyndon, why did you do that?
I don't know. I'm just seeing how Twitch works.
Call back to that one painting of them
Yeah,
fighting the tentacle
exactly.
monster.
But
yeah,
I agree.
It was like that was true to him. I'm like, yeah, no, these guys, they do suck, but it's like they were unfortunately.
It failed them too.
It was very much a case of like they had no choice but to be these people.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
It's almost like we made a show about gender and how patriarchy is bad, and then we had to like deal with that.
Oh, no.
Is that what the show's about?
That so many times at so many different points throughout the whole Demons and Daughters experience, we've been like, oh yeah, this is the show we're making, and now we have to
do
that.
Yeah.
And it's so much actually.
Not for me. I feel great.
Yeah.
I get to. They get to record batch, and then I get to sit down with them and say, actually, your character's a bad person.
Your character's
It's
a
great.
bitch.
Your character's a bitch, bad person, easily manipulated. It's great.
Who wants escapism when you can have the truth shoved into your face in horrific ways?
I love my sex tape.
But like, it's gonna be cathartic in the end.
I can't wait.
I like to think that it's cathartic the whole way through.
I hope so.
And I thought the whole point of the show was blue dresses and reticules.
Oh yes, that's
So
how it
did
started.
Rosalind. How do you think I feel?
That's how it started. That's how the first episode was.
Yeah.
All in pretty
Yeah,
dresses
for
and
real.
reticules.
The Talia in me got really angry at that. She was like, fuck off, Neil.
You heard that.
Sorry.
Neil, you've been told to fuck off by Talia Brunton. That's special.
Scram!
How do you feel?
She doesn't want to talk to you.
She doesn't want to talk to you. You just don't understand her like I
The
do.
best thing that you can do, Neil, is just take it out on Luck. So there we go.
No, don't
No!
say that.
Luck is a
didn't
bad
deserve
person.
that. Luck is a
Luck is not nice.
Yeah.
Neither is Sylvie.
I will say
We've
that-
realised
It's fine.
that.
This is
Maybe
not the
Vince
chat.
This is not the chat,
No,
but
but-
watching Fayath back, we've
Yeah,
realised that
we
our
did.
characters that we thought were just like cute little annoying girls, and they were actually so
They're
lovely.
actually not.
Are
to
actually
each other.
horrible people. They're
not
so
nice.
mean.
I feel when they told me this, I was like, I feel so validated. It's great.
Regency era men's clothing is also fabulous for Talia. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Why did you not even look happy at that?
I accept.
Okay.
But
Any questions?
Yeah,
I
any
guess if there's
extra
anyone has anything they want to say
questions,
something.
Oh.
I'll jump away
Captain-
for a bit. What's the part of your characters you're most excited to jump into that's not yet been explored? Have you had that waiting? Have you had that waiting for that? Anyone got any? Don't!
and that's Sam. That's paragraph to
No,
just
I
come in
think
with.
Sam's got a page of questions, and they're gonna copy and paste them as we answer.
Sam, I love you.
Yeah, me too.
I assume Sam's talking about the girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
just
have
had to clarify.
think about my answer because where we filmed up to the end of Act 2,
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything.
there's some character stuff that I've begun or that has actually I'm kind of in the middle of that is the thing. So I don't want to.
I can tell you mine.
For Agatha, there are two things that I want to explore. One of them gets mentioned towards the end of Act 2.
So I guess you'll figure that out later.
You'll figure that out. The other one, I haven't told anyone, not even Lyndon.
So that was basically like, yeah, I've got an answer to your question.
I'm not telling
and you ain't hearing it.
I got a secret.
Morne,
It's interesting that you want to explore something, but you won't tell Lyndon what it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I might not be able to mess it up.
That's a great way to never explore it.
Yeah.
As someone who's also a DM.
It's something that
Agatha.
it's something that like I have been waiting to come up naturally, and I think
it will.
I think something happened that I'm like,
it might come up now. It's like already happened in what we filmed.
Kind of.
Wow. Okay.
I'm looking forward.
I'm intrigued
to see Agatha deal with Martha.
Yeah.
And Rosalind
and that.
deal with Georgiana. I would like to explore Taya being a good person. That would be great.
That'd be great. Let's get rid of that classism, baby.
Yeah, let's have her be like actually a good person or like a middle person.
Yeah, even a fine
just
person.
not a bad person. Like I would like her to no longer be a bad person. Any exploration in that regard would be great.
Yeah.
I'm just a very innocent viewer, not a paragraph writer at all. Okay,
sure,
Sam.
I'm excited for that for Taya.
Yeah.
Because I think, as much as we all like to talk shit about Taya on Talks Around the Teapot, I do think
we do.
I do think she is really compelling and understandable, even if not justifiable. And I think it's kind of been inevitable for a while that her arc is going towards having to become having to become a good person or become a worse person and lose everything.
Yeah, because I do think that those are my two outcomes.
Now.
Either we're finishing this campaign and Taya becomes a good person, or we finish this campaign and Taya is evil. She's not evil.
Is quite a strong word for a gritty, realistic world.
She's bad. Like she's not a good person.
Yeah,
bad.
I'm also looking forward to exploring Agatha becoming a good person. Controversial.
Yeah.
Opinion.
Not that controversial. Let's not that controversial.
Agatha arguably is the worst of all of them. I think.
Talia kills innocent people.
I killed an innocent man for no reason.
Murder's the word.
Murder.
Yeah.
Intentionally killed.
Let's not push it that far.
Well,
no, let's push it that far.
Willingly.
Well, no, she didn't go in being like, I'm about to kill this man. She just didn't care enough to not kill him.
I think that's worse. I think that's worse.
Yeah.
We've had this
chat.
We've had this chat.
I would just like
make your point about Agatha.
I just think that she
enables.
It definitely enables Taya, and I think that she's still indoctrinated.
Yeah.
About certain things, and I think that she still needs to overcome them.
I'm interested in Agatha exploring her religious trauma arc because we've sort of seen glimpses of it, but we've not really fully. And like I know, seeing Martha is gonna I'm assuming we will when we get back to that.
What murder?
Like, I'm interested in one, what seeing Martha is going to do, but two, if it comes up in any other ways, because we sort of have seen some glimpses of it.
It might.
Because the thing is, like, I know Agatha's whole thing is like the religious trauma of it all, but she sort of like, and she sort of had to face it a little bit more when you went and you drank the god's blood and you had all the visions and Martha was there. But like, when you found out there were no gods and you ripped up the Bible, Agatha never really dealt with it.
No.
She just sort of, it felt to me, and you don't have to answer this, this isn't even a question, but like, to me as a viewer and as somebody who finds Agatha a compelling character, it felt like she just sort of put it away. She was just like, oh, okay, no one's there. Great, I can do what I want. That's in a back cupboard now.
Yeah.
Like, that's sort of how I read it.
That's how it
Don't comment any more than you're comfortable with.
No, it's kind of like... I guess the best way that I can, like I've mentioned before, like the grieving process, how like there's that moment where you're still waiting for them to come through the door, and it does take a while to be processed.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not there. I think it's the same thing
with
there,
God,
that I'm like, oh, there's no God, and there's going to be a moment, at least I'm anticipating a moment. She will process that.
Why is that giving me like shivers?
No, literally.
It's one of those things. I mean, Faya / Neil.
I'll respond to my one after.
Oh yeah.
First time chat.
Okay. Oh wait, let's respond to Neil's bit, and
Okay.
then, because I just want to say
you want to
to
say
Neil's point about Taya either being a good person or a sympathetic villain. I think that's what I mean in terms of she's either going to be a good person or she's going to be the person that's like, well, nobody wants to do this horrible shit, but I'll fucking do it, and I don't care. And like because of that, she loses like all of her humanity, and it's just like that's her thing.
Sounds glorious.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
I feel like a lot of Agatha's character progression has been her own internal deprogramming for her traumatic. Yes.
And to add on to that, because I think that is very much right. There's everyone's experience is very different. I had a friend growing up, very religious. Then they stopped being religious, and they decided for some time period after stopped becoming religious because they had bad experiences of religion. They were like, well, everything that I was taught is wrong, so I'm going to do the opposite. And it's like Agatha. And it's very much the case of there are some things in the Bible, like do not murder people.
I
care about your neighbour. It's like some things are like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have a book. Maybe you shouldn't have a book tell you that. Maybe you should have a book tell you that. Yeah. And maybe you shouldn't automatically go, well, because that bad book told me that, I'm now going to not be nice to people.
It's like if you
are you saying your friend killed people?
So there's another question I think on here.
It's like if you need a book to tell you to be a good person, maybe you're just not a good person.
Standard D&D question. I love asking.
2 sets of ribs.
Do centaurs have 1 set of ribs or 2?
2.
2 sets of ribs.
Yeah.
Easy.
2.
Yeah.
Why though? Because do we have 2 sets of lungs and 2 hearts?
Maybe.
Torso and then
horse torso.
Yeah, but what are the ribs for? The ribs are for protect your internal organs. You don't. If you only have them in the lower half.
But they're shaped like they've got ribs, so they've got ribs.
That's what I.
Have you seen a picture of one? Have you
Have you
met Centaur?
Lyndon?
Maybe they do have 2 hearts.
Yeah,
maybe they have 2 sets of lungs.
Lyndon,
how do you know?
When we meet a centaur, we will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, us 4 will meet a centaur and we'll tell you when we find out.
I actually met a centaur and I asked him personally.
Real question, not trying to distract this time, I promise. Who else connected to your personal characters would you want to step into in a later one-shot? I had an answer in it. I'd like to play Jonathan just because that's interesting.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to play Amelia.
Oh, that would
break. I'm crying thinking about it.
I'd love to play Richard.
Not to like. Yeah. I mean, it's not really connected. I would love to play Madam because she's just fun. Yeah. Like she would just be fun to play. We were talking about earlier, like if we did any sort of other brotherhood. Rio just injured themselves. I could play Lucas, and I would enjoy that. I think. But like in terms of connected to Rosalind, I don't really know. I wouldn't want to play either of her brothers.
I'd want to play Edwin.
You can play Edwin.
I've got 3.
Who is gonna play Nigel?
No,
Lyndon. Lyndon's the only one.
I've got 3 answers. Obviously, I'd love to play Thomas. Like a day in the life of Thomas. Like
that
just do one off thing.
It'd
be so cute.
Wait, Lyndon, can we just do on Patreon? You and Morne role play a day in the life of Thomas, and that's it. Can we just do that?
Sure.
Yay! Got that on camera. Second, I put up one finger, but second, Albert. Like
you could play Albert.
Like I would love Albert just like on a mission. Like he's been asked to like go find something and like what he gets up to during that day.
I think Albert is a really cool character that has been pushed in the back burner and the roles have let him down.
His roles have let him down.
That's another case.
Albert is so like
that's the case, isn't it?
Neil, that is not how you spell my name. So
I'm playing Thomas would break me.
There's,
It would break
there's
me
no
too.
you. There's no you in there.
Yeah, there's no you in this chat. Bye-bye, Neil. Bye-bye.
But your point
why are you just bullying Neil?
Morne.
It's because we're boys and because they're gonna.
Morne.
No!
Who's the third
Lyndon.
Morne?
Morne.
Who's the third Morne?
Martha.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to play
I
Martha.
think I would really pop off.
Do you know what I want to see?
If I got told no boundaries, I'm popping off.
No,
with
because
Martha.
I want to see.
Us
I
play
want to
our
see the
mothers.
three of us play our mothers.
No, because it would really just be us two having a bitch off, and then you just like, I'm gonna
Dealing
go
with
and
all
write.
the children.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, I'd be looking after all the fucking children.
Yeah.
And during that, I'd love to just still be Seth.
What, as a baby?
You know?
Okay,
I would love to
I-
see the.
I-
I'd love to see you two play Martha and Georgiana together.
Yeah.
Like no,
We
all,
would be
all,
so
limitless,
gloves off.
bitchy.
all gloves off.
See,
do what
here's
you
the
want.
thing.
And then I just walk in as Gilbert.
I don't. This is the thing. Like, I know this is all a joke, but like, I don't think I could play Georgiana.
Neil just threatened me.
I'm remembering all this bullying.
Oh
keeping it
no.
Oh no.
Oh, I
Mothers and
already know.
murder. That's good. I like
Neil,
that.
I love you.
Mothers and Murder
I love you
is a
so
good,
much.
great
Murder.
idea.
I don't think I could play Georgiana. I just think like it's interesting because obviously Rosalind has so many issues with both her parents. But like the issues with Frederick sort of allowed me to play Frederick quite easily. I think they would do the opposite with Georgiana. I don't think I could play Georgiana in a way that was faithful, unbiased. Because the thing is, like Rosalind, as much as she doesn't know Frederick, she doesn't know her father. Like she knows enough of him that I could play him. You know, I think Rosalind genuinely, bar Rosalind's experience with her, knows nothing about Georgiana. Like to the point that I, as Taya, I don't know who she is. I don't know where to begin. I wouldn't want to touch her with a 10-foot barge pole. Like I just don't think I could do it. Like and it's interesting because I think she's a really complex, interesting character, and I know there's so much to her. It's not for me. Like I'm not going there.
I think
you
I
know?
couldn't be at a table where somebody was like truthfully playing Georgiana in the way that it would happen with Martha without like losing my mind. Actually,
Yeah.
Well,
I'd be like, I've got to leave. Actually,
I don't know if I would ever be comfortable playing Martha like and filming it.
I'm not comfortable
Yeah.
playing Martha.
I just think
Yeah,
for like
good luck.
my own personal just to get in that mindset.
It'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. I have no intentions of playing her. I just think it would be
I
cool
agree.
to-
Hypothetically.
hypothetically.
Rio, who would you want to play in the campaign? Hypothetically, like anyone.
If I was to play someone connected to Seth, it would have to be Seth's dad, but it would be Seth's dad walking around for a couple of days in like a street somewhere
It
and then
doesn't have
dying
to
in
be
a...
connected.
No,
to
but
Seth.
like-
just anyone hypothetically.
I mean, I'd love to play Richards.
Yeah,
I
Richard would be
would.
cool.
I mean,
I love
I
Richard.
would
very-
love to play Richard.
it's very difficult for me to want to play a rich person. It is very difficult for me to. I mean, I could. I very much could. I just didn't want.
It would be difficult.
It'd just be difficult because it's like a lot of their things is that they're just kind of like, even if they're good people, they're just a prick in one way or another, just because
Yeah.
they just don't understand the world.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Richard is a solid.
I think
solid
Richard's
choice.
a good choice, or I think maybe.
I think you'd have fun playing Zach.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
Zach. I think
Zach's a
Zach
good
would be good, but
one.
I'd wanna do like. I'd wanna do Zach on like.
You'd want to do
pre-
that.
Yes.
Sorry.
But I'd like to like play Zach, but like pre Velvet Masquerade.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You did a great job playing the Viscount.
I could do that.
I feel like you.
Oh.
I think you would, but I think you'd have too much power.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think I can live in a world where you play the Viscount because I think you. I think you half the time it would be a parody and it'd be really funny.
Non-magical
and then-
items.
Yeah,
That's
what are
interesting.
some of your favourite non-magical items you guys have used throughout your
My
campaign?
reticle. Oh, that's a good point. Neil,
Diamond.
I want to play Diamond. Because I
Yeah.
am Diamond. Because
I
I don't.
was surprised that you didn't say that.
I forgot that she existed because I was just thinking of people connected to Rosalind, and Diamond isn't
Oh,
super
you're a
connected
relatively
to
new
Rosalind
DM. I'm a
anymore.
relatively new DM as well.
That might
6
be a
months.
good question for you.
But like
Leo.
because Diamond
Just
is me. Like we all, I don't know if anybody else has this in the audience, but like we all as players picture Diamond as Taya. Like Diamond looks like me as Taya.
Yeah.
And I just think she's me and has my mannerisms, and I see my I think I would body Diamond. I would body playing Diamond, and I think she's a great character. But
I
non-magical
like my
items.
sword that has been made into a cane.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
you
think
can
that's
carry it
iconic.
around without
Yeah.
suspicion.
Yeah.
I don't know what my I mean, guns are non-magical, but also like a gun isn't my favourite item.
Is your favourite item your pet fish?
She's not your
Harold,
item.
Harold's
Don't
magic
objectify my
bracelet.
fish.
Oh, yeah, Harold's
Oh,
magic
shit.
bracelet.
Yeah, no, Zach, I am going to play you in the next. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna play you. So you can at me.
Funny.
You can at me.
That's
Tell me
so
all
funny.
your life details.
That's such a weird
Next
coincidence.
campaign I'm in, I'll just be you.
Every detail of your life.
Yeah. So just
It's
find
hard
me
to
on Instagram.
remember items
My
that we've used.
Thing is,
Yeah.
like, as Rosalind, I have so many items that I love.
So
Ta-
many ribbons.
Talia's journal.
Oh, yeah.
So
That was a
fuck
good
all of
one.
you for, no, Rosalind didn't have ribbons. No, Talia's I know. I'm just saying.
Forgive me.
Talia's journal is
My
my
green
favourite.
cravat that Rosalind
Ooh, you
bought
got a
and
date.
made.
Yeah.
Rio's got a date.
No, I don't.
Rio's pulled. That's what we've learned from this.
Let's fucking go. I don't need to be on any more live stream. Let's fucking go.
Talia's journal, because I still like have that physical prop on the table every time we play, because it just like it means a lot to me. I have so many and they're all gone. Oh yeah, no.
I genuinely thought you just went.
Fuck you.
Our signet rings.
Our signet rings.
I think are my favourite.
And,
my favourite thing ever.
I love
Mine
the
is currently on the wrong hand because it's swelled up. I think, like, personal wise, my favourite item is Evelina. But like,
that's like your iconic one.
yeah, but like D&D wise, I don't know.
None of mine are really D&D ones because
No.
Rosalind's not really a D&D character.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I think
your
that's
cane,
the...
the sword, could be a really good D&D item.
Yeah.
But I think that's the difficulty with
This
specifically
show.
our campaign and our show is because we're telling a story and we just happen to be using D&D.
Yeah.
We don't really have D&D items because we don't live in
that
a world
aren't magic items.
Yeah, because we don't live in a world where those things exist.
Whereas, because all of my meaningful items are, I'm just like, oh, this is something that has emotional weight.
Yeah.
Rosalind.
Yeah.
You know?
But for newbie DMs, anything that's got like super emotional connections for the character will always be my favorite.
Yeah.
For my characters that I've played in like high fantasy settings as well, it's always something that's got like that real emotional connection to either my character or somebody that I play.
Yeah, just any advice. First weapon that they have, find a way to connect it to your player's backstory. That's what I've done with all of my players in my home game. I found a way. It's like, you're a monk with a staff. Well, how'd you get the staff? Did you make it yourself? Okay, you made it yourself. You carved it and designed it yourself. Okay, that's a way that can be like put into your backstory.
That's me. I'm the monk with a carved staff.
That's just some piece of advice. And then you can find ways of like making the weapon like stronger throughout the story, so they keep it. Because a lot of the time is like weapons get replaced. So I'm just fully going onto a DM discussion now, but that's what's going to happen now.
Ren's never letting go of their staff.
Real life props too, a book with invisible ink with some pages after a period of time, given the UV light was fantastic.
That's very cool.
Okay.
I love real world props. If you can't tell by the jewellery that we've got and the things that we buy,
What prop is that?
that's from our
So
home
I
game.
currently am wearing
Oh, I was like,
this necklace. This is Rosalind's. I haven't taken this off since we started Demons and Daughters.
There's mine.
Is my
because
jewellery pot over there, or is that the
it's
table?
in your
probably at
drawer.
this-
No, it's in your drawer, and then it'll be at the studio later. But yeah, this necklace is Rosalind's. It's woven into Talia and Rosalind's backstory. Rosalind hasn't taken it off. I haven't taken it off.
Can you take the whole pot? Is what
I'm
I meant,
wearing
sorry.
this is like when influencers do a tour of all the jewelry I'm wearing, but mine are all just D&D ones.
Let me read.
So this is the signet rings that all the girls have matching ones of. Those are from Demons and Daughters, and then this bracelet is from the home game that Rio runs for us. So I now have 3 pieces of D&D jewellery that I wear every day.
That bracelet's from an orphan that they kidnapped.
We saved her, and she gave her a bracelet.
This is my Agatha necklace that Talia gave her in the...
Because she felt left out.
I've got the
pearl necklace, the pearl earrings.
The pearl earrings from Georgia. Why do I still wear these? I don't know.
Really.
I just
Because you got
they're
them.
just
Our
on.
rings are
This
really-
is this was just a pearl necklace which I incorporated into the story because one time when we were playing it broke.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I feel sad because
I remember that.
my dad Harold gave it to me,
Yeah.
and then it got fixed in real life, and then you said that it got fixed in the dream world.
Yeah.
Did I say
remember
that?
Yeah.
Probably.
And then obviously, this is a good segue. Rio, can you pass me my bag, please?
What is this?
Oh, Morne just turned to us earlier and was like, I've got something to show you all. And then the conversation moved on and they didn't do anything to it.
It's down there,
Wait,
and
what
this
is
is my
it?
new jewelry pot, which is cute.
Very cute.
What
What is this?
I think-
Come on, what is this?
I do think my rings are the favourite. Genuinely love
I- Nationwide gave me 50 quid.
Aww.
No, I'm so tempted to buy a sword with that money.
Yeah, Nationwide gave me 50 quid, so I bought 2 new dice sets.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm having to do this one.
Dice
handed.
roll.
While you do that,
Yeah.
Sam, I thank you. That's like really genuinely so lovely to hear. Because again, you're somebody that I think all of the work you do is so good for like promoting and hyping the actual play community over here. And I hopefully with the announcement we've made tonight, and you know anything we can do with our studio moving forwards, you know that's the goal, is to bring together this community and just continue to put out content like about highlighting
With
the work that we all do. So yeah, love you.
So I bought 2 new dice sets. This is from someone called Sophie Miller on Vinted Handmade. Can you hold out your hand because I can't do it myself?
I like the rainbow dice bag. Stop!
No way!
How do these exist? This is literally Agatha. Oh my god.
They've got
crosses
They've
in.
got crucifixes in them.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Sophie Miller at Sopbox
Why do I
Handmade.
know that name?
I'll
I
put
know
all of
that
these.
name.
It's Sophie Miller. It's a very basic name.
I'm gonna
Sure.
put all of these.
I know at least 2 Sophie Millers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put all of these on our socials, so we can.
Yeah,
shout
no,
out
it
these people
said
if you
that
wanna buy these
they're not
dice.
perfect.
No, but I love imperfect dice.
Well, that's why
Perfect
I got
dice are my favourite.
Shall I put them back in the bag
them. Yes,
for you?
please.
I'll
And
post
then
these on socials.
These
for
are from
everyone.
someone called Stephen MR05, also handmade.
Come on, you've done so well to remember the like handles. What?
Bloodied
No.
bullets.
Oh my god, so Morne, you can use your bullet dice, and then when you've killed someone, you can switch and use these bullet dice?
Yeah.
And a sticker.
Yeah,
Oh,
they gave
that's
us stickers.
gorgeous.
Thank you, Stephen. I didn't like these two.
Oh, I think they're gorgeous.
But I thought they were very Rosalind because they're the eyes.
Because it's a hand.
Yeah.
Fuck you, actually.
So if any of you don't get it, Rosalind's
yeah.
missing a hand.
Wow. That's sweet.
But yeah, I saw
And
This
helpful
one's-
for you, they say the number on
They
the end.
do.
This one's very like the eyeball god that the penhallows are connected
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And this one is a hand.
But yeah, thank you Nationwide for giving me
Stop,
50
these
quid.
are- Maybe I should buy dice with my money.
What do you mean? Thank you, Nationwide, for giving me 50.
Oh, if
Nationwide
if they randomly gave you, like,
Yeah.
I've got £50 and I'm contemplating
Buy
buying
new
a
dice.
sword, but maybe I'll just buy
Yeah.
new dice.
Yeah.
But-
On the subject of dice, this
My
is
new dice.
this is another jump. If you want new dice and
Oh,
you
yeah.
perhaps want a discount, use the code Dicestress on Mystery Dice Goblin, and you can get 15% off your whole order because we like to buy dice, and we would like to encourage you to do so also.
Thank
Oh,
you,
thank
Zach.
you.
Thank you so
Zach,
much.
If you, to get a flavour, there's some of the smaller. There's Michael's Manor.
There
there's-
is IDM's
Yeah.
Michael's Manor.
Yeah.
That's like a
there's-
3-part mini series.
There's
Yeah.
Fey Earth.
There's
Fey
Fey
Earth,
Earth,
which is
which,
currently
you know,
in its run.
yeah.
That's
at the
a
moment.
And
10.
there's-
That's a 10-part mini campaign GM'd by the game designer Neil, who's been in the chat tonight with us. That's fantastic. It's very funny. But it's also very sweet.
There's 3 parts of Tales of the Spectral Sea, another
There should be
few
more
will-
Which
coming
is like
up
an
soon.
indie TTRPG about pirates, which is very cool.
Neil, I don't know what sort. I was thinking either a rapier or just like a standard looking sword, because obviously Talia's got a rapier. But I don't really care so long as I can lift it with one hand
And it's in your budget.
and it's in my budget. But I don't want, my only thing, and here's where my
Don't get a great sword.
well, yeah, it can't be a two-hander. It has to be a
Yeah.
single. My only issue is to get a rapier, you generally have to have like the ball on the end so that you can be like, it's not a real weapon, and I fucking hate that. So that's why I've not bought one, and that's why I was
fair.
thinking of getting one of the other generic swords because you don't have to have the tip and they can just be blunt. But like, I can't find any decent ones within my price range. Really, there was one that was like £55. And I was like,
that's why I have a machete. That,
but
for legal
then
reasons, is a joke.
I'm pretty sure as well for you to have one that is made of metal, you have to like have a license to be able to take it out of your house, which defeats the purpose of using it for photo shoots.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
Well, we have a friend who has looked into it and has said that.
Well, but maybe you'll just buy some dice.
Maybe I'll just buy some dice.
What was it?
Not that I know Dice Goblin.
First, I actually do enough to give you £170 to move your account to them.
What?
Who?
Hey, big up
Maybe
Zach.
Zach. Thank you. Maybe
somebody write that down.
Yeah, I'm writing that down right now.
Which I may or may not have used to buy whiskers.
Wow.
We could buy our minis.
We could buy Hero Forge minis, or we could pay our rent.
Well, there's that.
Which is also a struggle.
Sorry, saying it doesn't matter. Carry on.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Zach.
Thank you.
I'll make sure I'll buy you 3 Cosmos.
You can't afford 3 Cosmos.
They can if they get £175 for just.
Yeah, I can if it's 175.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to say. I've run out of things to say.
Yeah, any more questions?
Oh, Neil knows where to get like weapons and would know the answer to that. Neil.
That's why Neil is engaging with you about it.
I'm so tired.
This is turning into a personal conversation now, so let's...
Yeah, but when we do lives and we ask people, when we talk to the chat, I feel like it always becomes this, and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
That's what it's here for.
Yeah.
We should do more lives.
We should. So it becomes less chaotic and we get better at it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Any final questions about the campaign?
About
anything
our
moving
lives.
forward?
Yeah. About anything.
Ask us some personal questions. Go on.
Go on.
Yes, I know lots of swords.
Yes, I know you do.
If we get no, unsure of UK laws, but I do know that a few different folks that sell stage running swords of a ton of different varieties that are super solid for photo shoots.
Yeah.
You need to have a good reason to have your sword in public. That's all.
And it's a business thing for us because it's a photo shoot.
Yeah.
How are you all doing? River,
Tired.
We're not here for that right now. Come on, this is not.
I mean,
I'm kidding. I'm
doing
just.
amazing.
I'm so
doing great.
tired. We are currently sorry to cut you off, but if Taya ends up in hospital by tomorrow, we would be 3 for 3 on the Damsels being in hospital in the past week.
Yeah. So, I'm a bit scared. I feel like something's gonna happen to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
I won't let it.
Power tools.
Well, exactly, because our plan for tomorrow, just because now we're just chatting with you, is that me and Lyndon are going back to the new studio to finish up work. By the end of tomorrow, I think it's going to be pretty close to like what it's always going to be. So yeah, no, I agree, River. I was confused by Maijai's response. I don't know what to tell you. But then me and River are psychically connected.
Yeah, Maijai just wasn't expecting you to get so deep with questions like, how are you?
Yeah, Maijai wanted, what's your favourite colour?
How are you?
Also,
I just thought it was funny. I'm sorry.
Because we talked about religious trauma earlier. If you like stories about that, you should watch Inferno on Streaming Rainbow because it's great. And me and River play messy enemies to lovers, and it's
If
good.
you don't like religious trauma, you should definitely not tune in.
Don't watch Demons and Daughters.
Act 3 episodes. Return to Bledlow. Well, returning to Seven Lark.
Well, just really the whole show is not for you, to be honest. But yeah, we're very tired.
When do you guys stream an extra live episode?
Yes.
That's the thing, because we don't.
Yes.
I mean, you.
Shall I? As social media person.
Yeah.
So our next episode, the next thing that we're putting out is a talk back for our Fey Earth series, which will be next Tuesday. So not great if you've not watched the Fey Earth series. Next Wednesday will be the next.
He has awoken.
Oh my god. Will be like the next current airing episode of Demons and Daughters, which is the main show we do, which is the thing we've been talking about all night. That's like episode 56 or something. I would say if you want to jump in live and just like figure out what's going on, absolutely go for that. Otherwise, if you want to start from the beginning, there's a playlist on Spotify, there's a playlist on YouTube.
There is also a recap.
But yeah, there's basically, so Act 1 of Demons and Daughters, all the episodes are really long because we didn't really know what we were doing. And we accept that. But that means what we did was we made a 30-minute recap video, which tells you everything you need to know to go into Act 2, which starts at episode 26. So you can watch the recap video. I'm also going to be posting a recap on Spotify in the next week, so that so that you can dive straight into Act 2 if you prefer to listen. But basically, if you watch the recap video, which is on our YouTube also, you can go straight into Demons and Daughters, which is our main show, which is set in Regency, England, and it's about these 3 girls uncovering their missing fathers and the mysterious hidden demonic world that they were part of.
I suppose
if you want the next live chat like this, it will more than likely be after
my
Morne's
campaign
mini-series.
So we haven't got a
because basically we pre-record our episodes of all of our campaigns because we're in studio and it's easier for us. So we're always in the chat on Twitch when our episodes go out, but the episodes are pre-recorded. Live chats like this, the next one will probably be after Morne's.
Yeah, so I've got a mini campaign that we'll be doing once Act 2 has finished.
There's the link.
There should be a link tree in our bio, which will take you to the Spotify, which will take you to all of our socials. If you just want to see more random crap, our TikTok's always really good for just random clips from the show.
If you want to get a glimpse of us, but not committing to an entire campaign, there's the Secrets of Michael's Manor.
Michael's Manor is good.
My one
will
be
nowhere
coming
near
up
as
soon.
serious.
No, but if you want to just jump in, so next Wednesday 7 p.m. we'll be here on this account. With the next episode of Demons and Daughters.
All D&D campaigns have the theme of Benny Hill, Pink Panther and Mission Impossible, but there's no way to tell until the moment in which it is.
Which is Demons and Daughters?
Yeah, it's not Benny Hill.
What's Benny Hill?
We had this moment at Fox's and I still don't know what it is. People just sang that at us.
Okay.
I will play it for them later.
Yeah.
If you just want to see...
Big shake from the dog.
Big shake from a little boy.
If you want to see more of me, just Fayeearth.
Fayeearth.
And you do want to see more of Rio.
Oh, and potential future things, yes. I will probably be around a bit more.
But yeah, if you go to our link tree, follow
Rio's
us.
not in as much stuff because they decided to fuck off for loads of time.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry that my life is crazy.
We're on all socials as Damsels and Dicestress.
Yeah.
So if you follow us on there, we'll always post about what we're doing, what's going on.
Taya is
when
very
we're
good
doing
at
stuff.
keeping everyone up to date and everything.
So yeah, just follow us on things and you'll find out.
Yeah, the
2 out.
three of us chronically offline.
Oh yeah, we have a Discord as well.
We do.
That's also, I believe, now in our link tree, where we chat about various things. And we also play bingo. So if you do watch the Demons and Daughters episode next Wednesday night, you can go to Discord, get a bingo card, tick off everything that happens. It's really fun.
I think the message is pinned.
Yeah.
For bingo.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
So yeah, we're very tired to answer River's question.
I feel pretty good.
So many things have happened in our lives in the last week.
The last week has been so hectic.
It's been a lot.
It's been a week.
It
has certainly been a week.
You can say it's Benny week.
Yeah.
Get Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
It's a Benny Hill week. Because all I can hear is that music and I just feel like I'm running away from everything that's chasing me, but yes, I'm still chasing everything that's going around.
That's scary.
So I think that maybe it's time to end the stream
I think
soon.
it might be.
River
but thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you for chatting and listening. Thank you for putting up with the fact that this is the setup and we're not as usual high tech as we normally are.
We will be back to our award-winning set soon.
But our award-nominated set, award-winning costumes.
That's what I meant.
But yeah,
But you'll be able to see our full costumes.
Yes, in the new studio.
You get to see the full
At people's feet.
You're not looking at my feet.
Yeah, are we okay overall?
I won.
I'm sorry for the overall. Oh yeah. We're fine. We'll.
I'm great.
It's fine.
I feel great. So
But
in a few weeks I'll be fine.
But yes, you can see our full costumes.
Yeah. In the new studio, the way the camera setup will be is you will see the full length because the way we currently are, you sort of see waist up. You'll see whether or not Lyndon's wearing little pink shorts underneath his Regency suit.
You will, and you'll maybe see Welly, depending on if we think it's going to be too stressful to film with him.
Welly, do you want to say goodbye to everyone?
Be. But thank you for joining us.
Yes,
we love you all. You're the best. Join us next week.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Fae Earth on Tuesdays, Demons and Daughters on Wednesdays. Pre-recorded on the old set, the old tech setup. And in a couple of months, once we get through that, we'll be in the new studio. But now that it's been publicly announced, we will be posting about it on the socials. We'll be posting pictures, updates on how it's going. So
Zach has a sausage too.
Oh my goodness! Thank
Willie,
you.
friend. Willie, they all love you.
I suppose until then.
Thank you,
Submissive
subscribable. Thank you for being here with us.
Find a way to end it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone. Take care of yourselves also.
You're such a good boy.